Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sky Track Meet. A rainy, soggy Saturday morning at South Warren High School here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. You're watching live coverage brought to you by the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network here at go.prepspin.com. And we also welcome those of you who might be watching us at wbko.com/livestream2. Capping off a busy week, as you see they're getting ready at the start line. We're across the way from the start-finish line. This is the girls 4x800 meter relay. You have South Warren, Barron County, Bowling Green, Butler County, Greenwood, Warren Central, and Warren East, all in this first race of the event. Due to where we're set up and in the weather, we will not be able to show you some of the events going on, the field events of the long jump, triple jump, shot put, discus. We might be able to get a little bit of the high jump, but a lot of the track racing, we'll be able to have that for you here this morning. Mike Cleff on the camera, Scott Thompson with you. Glad to have you with us. As the official, as you can see, gets everybody lined up. 4x800 meter relay. That means 4 of them. Each one will run 2 laps around the track. That's 800 meters. For South Warren, it's Taylor Brown, Megan Kitchens, Riley Johnson, and Ansley Crosby. Barron County, first leg will be Gracie Reed, followed by Anna Kate Alexander, Brianna Brown, and the anchor position, Chesney McPherson. Bowling Green, Rachel Johnson will lead off, Kaylin Mason, Caroline Lamoth, and Adeline Drain. Butler County starts in lane 4. Kendra Basham will be lead off, Hope Phelps second, Briley Webster third, and Emma Winchell will be in the anchor position. Greenwood, Caroline Freeman leads off, Amaya Salvador, Macy Daniels, and Erin Helsley. Warren Central, as they're off in the girls 4x800 meter relay, Warren Central's Bianca Bunch will lead off. Betsy Echeverra, Nadia Espinola, and then Isaiah Lamberson will be in the anchor position. Warren East, Allison Garcia will be, as you see him pass in front of us, as we are located opposite of the start-finish line. Warren East with Allison Garcia, Macy Bruce, and then Molly Beckham and Emma McGuffey. This is lap number 1, 4x800 meter relay for the girls. We welcome everybody in this morning. Hope you're having a dry and day, and hopefully got you a cup of coffee, a cup of hot chocolate. Sit back for the next several hours as we're here live at South Warren High School on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. You can see South Warren is in the lead. 1 lap down. First and second, then you got a bunch of them together. Looks like everybody's schools has those pop-up tents, try to keep everybody as dry as possible. It's not a heavy rain, it's just steady enough to be aggravating for all the participants here today. That's Taylor Brown, followed by Greenwood's Caroline Freeman. They're 1 and 2 on lap 2 of the girls 4x800 meter relay here at the Sky Meet. You got East, Bowling Green, and I believe that was Warren Central all bunched together. There goes your leader, Taylor Brown of South Warren. She has stretched it out over Greenwood's Caroline Freeman as they come to the first handoff. The second leg of the girls 4x800 meter relay, and South Warren with a great exchange, and they are taking off. Megan Kitchens is expanding that lead for South Warren. Greenwood in second. Amaya Salvador. Boy, she's turning it on. She's trying to make up some room on the leader, South Warren, in our first event here this morning. Nice, comfortable pace it looks like there for South Warren. Well, she made up some ground. Maya Salvador really closed the gap. But then there goes Megan Kitchens for South Warren, stretches it back out. And Salvador looked like she was going to gain some ground, and then Kitchens has turned it on as they finish their first lap. This is the second leg of the girls' 4x800 meter relay. As they got about a half a lap lead over third and fourth and fifth. We had 7 scheduled entrants, but it looks like we only have 5 competing in this first race of the morning. South Warren still with the lead as they're finishing second lap of the 4x800 meter relay. About the same distance. We'll have the results texted to us just as soon as they're done. A lot of people were staying up near the concession weight room bathroom area because it's protected from the weather. There are some folks scattered throughout both sets of stands. An exchange for the third leg of the 4x800 is just taking place across the way by South Warren. Greenwood is their third place runner for South Warren, Riley Johnson. Greenwood's Amaya Salvador hands it off now to Macy Daniels across the way. About a half a lap lead. Riley Johnson of South Warren, as you see her sprint by us. Macy Daniels for Greenwood trying to make up some ground, but I believe South Warren has extended the lead here. As the exchange for the third leg is taking place for 2 other teams. Riley Johnson with coming upon one more lap to go before she'll hand it off to the final leg and the anchor for South Warren. Now she's opened up a nice lead here over Greenwood at the moment. Bowling Green may be in third right now. A couple of schools just now handing off on their third leg, while your leaders are on their second lap of the third leg, and that is Riley Johnson getting ready to pass in front of us here. The Greenwood runner trying to keep pace. There goes a Warren East runner. That's Molly Beckham for Warren East. And South Warren coming upon its final exchange. Ansley Crosby, the anchor for South Warren, gets the baton, and it's South Warren's race right here as they've opened up about almost Trying to see here where the Greenwood runner is, about 100-meter lead or so. And Greenwood just made their final exchange. That's Aaron Helsley. As Ansley Crosby sprints right in front of us. We know the high jump is taking place down at the end of the football field, down to our right. Also, we have shot put to our left, which we cannot get a camera view on, and to our right, the long jump, triple jump. There is Erin Helsley of Greenwood, first of her 2 laps. And it's almost a 110-meter lead right now for South Warren. As Ansley Crosby is about ready for her final lap. So South Warren is in their final lap. And Ansley Crosby is going to lead South Warren to a victory here in the girls 4x800 meter relay. She has about 110 meters to go. Erin Helsley of Greenwood should be coming along here just in a moment in front of us. And it's about a half a lap lead for South Warren as they're going to win this girls 4x800 meter relay. And Ansley Crosby, you see her right there, Ansley Crosby, going to cross the finish line for South Warren. And she just did cross the finish line, across the way. Here comes Greenwood's anchor, Erin Helsley. As she's making a mad dash right now across the way. You'll see her come into the camera in just a moment. And Greenwood will take second place. As the other runners continue to finish in our first race, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors, Leachman Buick GMC and Franklin Bank and Trust.
Leachman Buick GMC is the #1 GMC dealership in Kentucky and multiple winner of the GM Mark of Excellence Award, and just recently achieved the #1 ranking as the most trusted GM service department in the Southeast United States. If something isn't right with your vehicle, no matter the make or model, just give Leachman a call. We offer a 15-minute diagnosis at no charge. Schedule your next visit at LeachmanAuto.com and discover why generations of customers choose Leachman Buick GMC.
The thing I know about Franklin Bank and Trust is that they are large enough to serve your banking needs, but small enough to know you.
We want to know our bank gives back to the community.
When I call my bank, I want to talk to a real person.
Yes, we need a local banker that we can depend on.
Franklin Bank and Trust wants to keep banking personal. That's why all of our banking decisions are made at the local level. That's what you do in a hometown bank. You put people first.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Scott Thompson, Mike Cleff. Mike's on the camera, also on our headset. Mike was a former track and fielder himself back in a few days ago.
Yeah, this brings back memories. I'll say this, Scott. Even though you've mentioned the rainy conditions, as a competitor, it's hard for the field events. Let me make that clear. But as a runner or a sprinter or a hurdler, you would prefer the rain to the wind. So the rain you can deal with. You can layer up, you can stay dry until you get you get your warm-up sweats off and so forth. But at least it's not windy out here. So is it ideal? Of course not. Could it be worse? Yes. So and I I was just telling a number of the competitors, not the competitors, but the fans in the stands, and you saw some shots there under the umbrellas. And I made a point of thanking them for coming out because they're troopers. They really are. To sit out here to watch their loved ones, their family members, their friends, that's dedication. And again, Scott, I give you a shout out. In these conditions, I watched you hustle around and get stuff ready. And as we've talked about on air and off air, it's about the student athletes of Warren County Public Schools. Yeah, this brings back memories on a tough day. But again, it could be worse. Believe it or not.
Yes, I mean it could be windy and a heavy rain. This is just a light, steady rain, which if you're a runner, you're going to run in all kinds of weather.
Right.
So this doesn't necessarily bother them. It's just when you got to grasp a shot put or a discus.
Yes.
The high jump may be affected by this. Your long jump, triple jump, not so much because with the surface they have here. As we get ready, Mike, for the boys 4x800 meter relay, Butler County, Warren Central, Barron County, Greenwood, South Warren, and Bowling Green, we're scheduled to compete as the official gets up there. The leadoff for Butler County, Trey Stovall. Jaden Cobbins of Warren Central, Barron County's Ross Jesse, Greenwood Cole Jackson, Brandon Irvin for South Warren, and Zane Grinstead of Bowling Green are the scheduled entrants in the first leg for the boys 4x800 relay, Mike.
I will tell you what the biggest challenge will be, and I know you'll get into this. When we get to the 4x100 and the 4x200 relays, the Baton Exchange is going to be a real challenge. It's not as much of a factor in the 4x4 and the upcoming 4x8 because, those it's a longer distance. You don't have that tight window to have the exchange. But as we saw last week at the Gator Invitational, there was a dropped exchange, which was a vital part of that race. I believe it was in the 4x100, Scott, if I remember right.
I believe there was a couple of exchanges there. Two different teams had trouble with it. Yeah. And the conditions were an overcast. There was no weather like this that we had to deal with last week at the Great Gator.
Right. And so, again, in the 4x800, it's not as much of a factor. It's not as much of a factor in the 4x400, which will be the last event of the day, I believe, Scott, on the track. I know you don't have a list yet, but normally it's the last event. But
it should be like last week. I'll pull it up here in just a moment. I do have the list of events. And they're all from the boys 4x800 meter relay.
And Scott is pulling that up. But again, this is Scott mentioned the track surface here at South Warren High School. It's outstanding. It's an all-weather track. The runners all have very
Bowling Green and South Warren passing in front of us here. With it looks like Barron County a close third.
Scott, let me ask you something. I have not actually asked you this off the air. As a play-by-play person, and I say this as a compliment, track and field has to be one of the toughest ones to call because we use the term filling time. And so, here's the 4x800, which goes between 8 and 8.5 minutes between the start and the finish, or even the 3,200-meter run, which you're going.
Yes.
And you really – is it a challenge for you, Scott, to call it?
I will tell you, track and field is right there with upcoming in about a month. I get to do the KHSAA state cheerleading and dance.
Okay.
So there's a couple of things. Being a former dance and cheerleading dad, I do have a little bit of insight. I still don't know everything. That's why I have good people that are helping. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
And I can set people up and let the experts roll with that. And second lap here is South Warren, Bowling Green, and Barron County are first three for South Warren. That's Brandon Irvin, followed by Bowling Green, Zane Grinstead, and Ross Jesse for Barron County. Those are your three. As we do have limited view here, being indoors to protect all the equipment, so you're going to see limited action on our camera, Mike.
Well, and Scott, a couple of people on my way here asked a fair question. You see the stands, which, let me make it clear, if there were any threats of thunder and lightning, they would have people cleared out of here immediately. So it is strictly rain. It's not pretty, but it's not dangerous.
Now here goes the handoffs, and it looks like Barron County may have taken the lead here. As they're on second leg of this boys 4x800 relay. Barron County, that will be Riley Gaffin in the number 2 spot here on his first lap around. And he is just zooming along, followed by South Warren. That's Bryce McAllister. And South Warren had the early lead, but Barron County on that far side over there, Mike, towards the first handoff, was able to take the lead. And in third place, Bowling Green's Thomas Tenius.
Scott, you brought up a great point last week, I heard. In relays, coaches will either put their fastest person to start off or to anchor, and they'll put their second fastest either to anchor or to start off, vice versa. So in other words, your second and third legs are your slowest ones. And what I found throughout, whether I competed or I covered a lot of track and field meets, it's not your start or your anchor. It's that second and third leg that will win you relays or it will cost you to drop in the standings. And you know how the points go.
Yes.
If you score in relays, you're going to win team events.
No doubt. And if your second and thirds keep you close or keep that lead for you, then then you've got those chances. Yeah, exactly. All right, second lap underway, and it's South Warren as they pass in front of us here. That is Bryce McAllister has overtaken Barron County's Riley Gaffin. So just as you were talking about, South Warren gave up the lead on the first exchange to Barron County, but now it seems like South Warren, that second runner, Bowling Green, is in third place right now.
And I'll tell you this, Scott, as the second and third leg, when you are behind, especially in the 400 and the 800, but more the 800 leg of the 3,200-meter relay, is you want to catch up and put pressure on the leader, but, boy, you have to expend so much energy. I ran this event, and you're, by that 600-meter point, you are gassed.
All right, here's the first exchange, or the third exchange, and that's South Warren with the lead as they've extended it over Barron County. Hunter Clemens is running the third leg, and Jaden Medley gets it for Barron County. We only have 3 teams in this one right here.
And, Scott, let me make it clear. You can cut me off anytime because you get priority. You're calling the races and the field events. And
all right, as passing in front of us, you see right there South Warren's Hunter Clemens, and right behind him is Barron County's Jaden Medley. So he's trying to keep pace, but South Warren is extending the lead here as he's got a good 20, 30-meter lead as they make that turn, which we cannot get you. We apologize for that. Bowling Green is in third right now, and that is Michael House. As the rain is starting to come down heavier, you might be able to see it from the camera shot, but looking out the press box, this is the heaviest it's been all morning, and that could slow down times. It's about times, but it's also about how you finish to get the points. So, it's not like your time is depending on everything, as a heat or anything.
I'm trying to get a good shot here, Scott, of showing what you mentioned about the rain picking up.
It's hard to tell on in the camera lens, but by the naked eye here, you can see it.
Scott, if you don't mind a quick technical intervention, you mentioned the camera angles. Again, the camera is being supplied by WBKO, and
yes,
you mentioned, and much appreciated. And the one thing with the cameras we use compared to your normal home video camera, even with a cover, if you're out in the rain, basically it comes down to a limited view or no view after 15 minutes, because once you get any kind of moisture in these cameras, good night, Irene.
Yeah, today we'd love to have you right here in front of the stands where we're at, where you would be able to see the whole track, but to protect the equipment so we can be with you next week. We've got Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday action next week, as here comes the exchange by South Warren, and then it is into the anchor right now. And in the anchor position, Noah Graham of South Warren, and Barron County's Brody Miller will make the exchange. Bowling Green about 100 meters behind the runner, the leader. Noah Graham, passing in front of us here, has extended the South Warren lead. This is the boys 4x800 meet, the Sky Meet. Always been a big event. I know when I was in high school here, it was a very big meet. And Mike, I was a track manager in high school, so I was, I got out after lunch, home meets, raking the pit, setting up hurdles. And then once we got going, I'm up in the booth. I'm keeping the score, and I'm doing the announcing, keeping everything moving. I loved it. And I loved being a part of it, being a part of the track practices, to see how these individuals work and prepare, as South Warren will have one lap to go in the boys 4x800 meter relay. Noah Graham, and he gets the gun.
One thing, Scott, and it doesn't matter whether you're in the lead or in fourth place or in last. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather be in Noah Graham's spot in the lead, as he's going to be coming around here in a spot. In a meet, in any track and field meet, it is hard to run with no one else because you have no feel for pace.
Yeah, and
none.
And you're not being pushed. And here's Noah Graham coming in front of us. He's coming up on 100 meters to go. And Barron County, Brody Miller has made up a little bit of ground on Graham. As we can hear it, I don't know if you can hear it, but some of the athletes are out in the middle of the football field encouraging on their runners, as you see the South Warren runners and Barron County runners yelling encouragement. And South Warren, Noah Graham coming down those final 30, 40 meters. Barron County's Brody Miller's made up some ground, but I think Noah Graham is going to hold him off, and the South Warren boys take the 4x800 meter relay, with Barron County coming in second. Bowling Green is going to finish third in this event, as Bowling Green's Clay Wallace makes his second to final turn.
You're right, Scott. Credit to that Barron County anchor leg. He really made up a lot of ground. It was really something else. And, you know, you brought up the one thing about the rain, though, Scott, in the longer events, and again, when you're running, you don't feel it as much, but it does affect you when that rain gets on your uniform. And, yes, you're wearing a tank top and you're wearing shorts, but as we all know, that rain is heavy. And even, you know, during a longer race, that rain gets on your uniform, it gets on you, you're carrying more weight. You're not carrying 20 pounds, but it makes a difference. And so I don't think the times on the distances are going to be ideal. Now the sprints and the hurdles could be a different factor because of the lack of wind and so forth. And I'll be honest, I don't know if this rain's supposed to let up or not.
No, I was just checking at Mike while you were talking there. 52 degrees. We're either 90 or 100% for the next 4 hours.
Right.
Temperature is going to be steady, 52 to 54 degrees. The wind could kick up 8-10 miles an hour. So as we see, it's blowing a little bit because now the angle of the rain has changed. Instead of from straight down, it's blowing. They're setting the hurdles up right now. As we get ready for that event, we'll cut out for our sponsors here on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Leachman Buick GMC is the #1 GMC dealership in Kentucky and multiple winner of the GM Mark of Excellence Award, and just recently achieved the #1 ranking as the most trusted GM service department in the Southeast United States. If something isn't right with your vehicle, no matter the make or model, just give Leachman a call. We offer a 15-minute diagnosis at no charge. Schedule your next visit at LeachmanAuto.com and discover why generations of customers choose Leachman Buick GMC.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called Smart Pack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. Smart Pack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about Smart Pack.
The girls' 100-meter hurdles are next here at the Sky Track Meet. We're at South Warren High School. Live free coverage brought to you by the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network on our platforms, go.prepspin.com and at wbko.com/livestream2. Here's our scheduled participants. Rachel Evans in lane 1 of Greenwood, Jessica Peterson, lane 2 of Greenwood. Lane 3, Cassidy White of Barron County. Lane 4, Jillian Harold, Warren East. Tanaya Woods, Warren East. Big weekend last weekend at the Greenwood Great Gator. Caroline Chambers, Butler County in lane 6. Amber Rice, Barron County, lane 7. Kaboza Yagabo of Warren Central will be in lane 8 if they all are over there. As we see them get to the starting line, I think they might be able to be in view. It's kind of tough with the angle that we are at, but Mike's not far from the start line because of our limited view here inside.
And obviously, you will see them enter the picture. It's probably, what about, Scott, about halfway through the sprint when we'll pick them up?
Well, I think what you've got is the clear view of the second hurdle there. To their right is the first hurdle.
Okay.
In your view there. So the first set of hurdles, so the start line is just behind that. A non-rainy day, we would be able to show you the whole track. So bear with us, but you will see the bulk of most of these races right here. Thanks to Mingy Beef Jerky for all they do for Prep Spin and for the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Curtis Mackley and his crew, William Warfield, his crew at Prep Spin, Tim Coles, GM at WBKO, and his crew, Cody Barner, Tim Rathard, have been very helpful with us, so we can't thank them enough for all their partnerships and helping. As we're getting everybody lined up, the official is making his way down there. This is the girls' 100-meter hurdles, as we'll be getting results once they are entered and finalized. We will get the results, pass them on to you. Some folks are braving the elements and sitting in the stands. They're bundled up with either tents or those big umbrellas. A lot of them are standing down in the end zone to our left inside the weight room, concession stand, bathroom area, as they do have some construction going on out here at South Warren. Of course, across the way behind the bleachers that you see there, they're getting ready to dig up the old tennis courts over there and build an indoor weight room facility for football, softball, baseball to use. Plus, there'll be some bathrooms in there. And they're off. As you see them across the way, coming in, getting ready to come into your picture. There they go. And from our view, sorry, we can't pick up exactly who that may be. Tania Woods of Warren East, I think that's who that was in the middle there in lane 5. I think she comes away with the win. Being on the opposite side, last week we were on the same side as the start finish and everything, but everything we had to do today, we're over here on the far side. They have a separate press box for media and such. Actually, Mike, I think that's about the third row of hurdles that you get to. I thought I miscounted, so it took them a couple of hurdles to get into our camera view. We're sorry we can't give you more of a shot here, but as the high jump, we can see that taking place there. Getting your footing right in a wet bar can make a difference. And as we get results of all the events, we will announce those, as they are going to be providing those to us as they get them officially put into the computer and spit them out. Boys will be next. I'm sorry, there'll be another section of girls 100 meters. We'll have 4 participants. Haley Boyden of South Warren, Shakiro Munga of Warren Central, Aubrey Weaver of South Warren, Lily Glass of Butler County. Some of these events we do have 2 heats, and I've got pictures, so I've got to kind of scan my pictures to keep up with that.
And Scott, you're definitely better on the social media front than I am, but one thing that that you've been very good and approachable about is the feedback from the production aspect. I mean, even though you and I have known each other a while, this is a first collaboration. And again, from the live streaming point of view, I realize how crucial the video is. But again, I'll be honest, this is hard today, but it's kind of, for lack of a better phrase, picking your poison.
Yes,
so
as we're underway in the second heat of the girls.
Sorry about that. 100
meter, no. Only got 2 participants, so the weather could play havoc in today in some of these events. And there's the 2 completing the race. Hard to judge what lanes they're in from this distance here. So we'll have to pass on those final results once we get them, because it doesn't matter how you finish. It's all about time in the two heats.
Well, and again, the other thing is, too, is what you say you've been real good about is people giving you feedback.
Yes.
And I'm the same. If someone sees me, say, hey, try this, try this. One thing I do that people can't see this is the camera and Scott, as of right now, cannot be far apart. So in other words, where you're sitting, Scott, the camera can't be set up the opposite side.
No.
And that's one thing to explain. We have to be close to each
We're
other.
about 6 foot because
Right.
of our connection that we have to do as of now.
Mm-hmm.
So normally when you see Mike with his in stands at softball, baseball, or the track last week, he's within 6 feet of me. Here we just happen to be indoors next to each other. Safety's sake for Mike's health and for the camera's health. We don't want Mike outside in the rain. He might melt.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things I do want to, since I appreciate you letting me get on here for a little bit, Scott, is, and just let me know, I'm trying to see that I don't.
They're at the starting line for the 110-meter boys hurdles, as they're just doing their tests out of the starting positions, but they got to finish raising the hurdles, because the boys' hurdles is about 2 notches higher than the girls when they run. The girls run 100. The guys run the 110-meter. Let's go ahead and set the lanes for you. Matt Kirby will be in lane 1 for Greenwood. Sumi Manakariza from Warren Central in lane 2. Morgan Ray, South Warren, lane 3. Landon Binion, Butler County. There's that name. He's back today. He had a big event last week at the Great Gator, Greenwood. Harrison Bryce, lane 5, South Warren. Rance Littlepage of Bowling Green, lane 6. Drew Smothers of Greenwood in lane 7. First of 2 heats, as they are still testing their footing out of the starting blocks. Multiple events going on at the same time. You have high jump, not sure which long jump or triple jumps going on. Shot put to our left, you got that going on. I've not seen the discus. It may be behind us. So you've got multiple events going on. Otherwise, we're here all day and all night. We don't want to do that. But we're glad to have you folks watching the Sky Track Meet. We're at South Warren High School. Scott Thompson, Mike Cleff on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Coming up Monday night, we'll be back here at South Warren for baseball. It'll be Warren Central at South Warren. All right, we're getting some results in here. All right, the Sky Conference meet. South Warren and the boys, 4x800, 8:53:30. The boys 4x800, Greenwood, then Bowling Green. So South Warren got 10 points, Greenwood got 8, and Bowling Green gets 6. You know, the difference between track and field and cross country scores it low to high. So if you have all 5 runners finish top 5, that's 15 points. The lower the better. Track is the higher numbers. All right, we're double checking the girls 100 meters. Is a word I'm getting. I do have a copy of it, but I'm being told to hold off just a moment, as those totals are being verified. And once they are, then we will be able to announce it. Nice rainy day here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Glad to have you wherever you may be joining us. Of course, you can reach us and follow us on all our social media sites. We're on Twitter at WCPS Sports, S-P-O-R-T-S. That's 2 S's, at WCPS Sports. And you can find us on Facebook, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network on Facebook. You can follow there. We post everything, all the events that we're going to be doing. You can relay messages to us through either site there. Be glad to pass those along. You may have some interesting tidbit we don't know about. feel free to pass that along to us. We'll be glad to share that.
I also have to give a real shout out, Scott, and I get reminded of, you mentioned how they have to change the hurdles. The boys' hurdles have a higher hurdle to leap over. All these volunteers that work in the meet in these conditions, and they're doing it for the love of the sport and also for the student athletes, and just got to give them a major fist bump, shout out, handshake, hug, however you want to say it. It's awesome. Love it.
All right, we're still waiting on the official results from the girls 4x800 meters and the final, as they're verifying the 100-meter girls hurdles. All right. There's been a challenge in the girls 4x800. It's not ready yet, so we are seeing that. Okay, I believe I have a corrected hurdle score just sent to me. And if I can get it to enlarge here. All right, we are good on the girls 100-meter hurdles. We were right, Mike. Tanaya Woods of Warren East wins with a time of 17.5. Her teammate Jillian Harrell right behind her at 17.6 points. Greenwood took third and fourth. Jessica Peterson, Rachel Evans. Actually, they tied for third, identical 18.6 seconds. Shakura Munga was in fifth place. Amber Rice sixth, and Aubrey Weaver was seventh. So Warren East gets 22 points. Or excuse me, after two events, 22 points. That's pending the challenge we have been told about in the girls 4x800. Greenwood would be in second with 19 points. If things stand, South Warren would be in third with 12 points.
And Scott, you know this already. I want to make sure I don't miss the start of the hurdles. A challenge is very similar to the more common challenges you see on the college and pro level. It's usually related to a baton exchange happening out of the zone or one runner impeding the progress of another runner.
Correct. Yep. Because if you've been lapped, whatever, you're supposed to give way to the runner who is actually in, if you hear them coming. That's sometimes could be hard on a day like today with the rain. You may not be able to hear that runner coming behind you. They're in the starting position. Our official is now set. And though you can't see it, you'll see him about the third hurdle come in to play, and they're off. Got a false start. Somebody jumped the gun over there. Couldn't tell what lane it was in. It may have been lane 1 or 2. Let's see. I'm seeing where our official is walking. It may be lane 3, somewhere in there. It's on the false start. So they get another opportunity, but a second false start, and then they're disqualified from the race. The rain has slackened up. It's just a steady light rain. Hard to pick up in the camera there. But we can see it just steadily coming down. It was heavier earlier. But this is what we expect over the next few hours that we are here for the Sky Conference track meet. As you can see, the stands over there. Yeah, that's somebody in shorts and others under umbrellas. Probably got something warm to drink over there, I bet, Mike.
Yes, good move. I mean, it definitely comes in handy today, to say the least, and a big understatement. All right, our official has got the thumbs up to reset the timer. They're in the starting blocks. As the rain now picks up just a little bit. Set. And we have a clean start. The boys won 10 hurdles. As you see them start to come into your picture there. That far side, now closer. I believe that's lane 2 that overtook the lead, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, he came on strong, Scott.
Yes, he did, about halfway through. That was either, looked like maybe in lane 3, Morgan Ray of South Warren. I believe that's who that was.
And, Scott, I'm going to give you also major props as a play-by-play person. You are taught as a play-by-play person, no matter what, to look for the number on the jersey. It's your reference point. Well, in track and field, no such thing. The number you have is your competitor number. So you don't have the name on the back of the jersey or number.
It's not like baseball and softball where we see them all the time and we know who they are. But track, it's not an every week thing that we see, and then they can change. And they do have competition numbers, but we can't see them.
And they change from meet to meet for a competitor.
Well, sure they can.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
exactly.
that's where. And so if you hear Scott for a moment checking to see a name, if you hear him for a moment, again, like you said, you see teams over and over and a jersey number. It's a whole different thing. So I bet that's a real adjustment for you, partner.
Well, and I had to take photos with my phone, so I'm flipping from results to who our entrants are, and of course we don't know until they finish if someone has pulled out, has scratched because maybe the weather, they may have had an injury or something. So this will be, I believe we got another heat coming up of the boys.
Scott, if I could interject real quick, this was when I was in high school for 1 year, and it might be the worst rule change they ever had in any sport. You mentioned the false start rule. You get 2 false starts before you're disqualified. This was my junior year in high school, and they changed that to 1 false start and you're done.
Wow.
And there were so many first or second or third seeds in the preliminaries that would false start and they'd be done. They can't go to state. And
the thing is, how many people have ever been in a starting block? And then that anticipation, because when he goes set, it's supposed to be a second, and then the gun goes, and if he delays any at all, then it's hard to prepare for that.
That's right.
We do have another heat in the boys 110 meters. Be Griffin Reynolds of Barron County, Jordan Beeson of Warren Central, Jay Peralta of Butler County. There's 10 sets of hurdles. And we will get picked up around the 4th. I believe it's about the 4th set of hurdles due to our limited visibility because of the rain today. We do feel the breeze blowing here in the press box as we do have the windows open to give you the best view, and also we can see because we don't have wipers on the windows out front to keep swishing and swashing.
You know what, Scott, I will give a shot here. I'll pan over.
And there's a false start there on the 2 runners. We only have 2 runners in this event, it looks like.
This is what it would look like if we tried to.
Yeah, go through a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for showing everybody that.
No problem.
Yeah. So we have 2 runners in this second heat. So we'll do another restart here. A rainy day may be a little slower getting things done because the participants trying to stay as dry as possible for as long as possible. Second heat, boys 110-meter hurdles. They're set and gone. As we have had one of the runners pull out, it looks like. So just 1 runner in this heat. And it's the best times in the 2 heats. Not being pushed, he's the only one, so he's running against himself. And you know that's got to be tough because you don't know where you stand when you're running.
It's very hard. It really is, Scott.
Hats off to all these student athletes competing today. Our next event will be the 4x200 meter relay. I'm sorry, it's a 100-meter dash. So they're going to take a moment to get the hurdles out of the way. We'll step out for our sponsors here on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
The thing I know about Franklin Bank and Trust is that they are large enough to serve your banking needs, but small enough to know you.
We want to know our bank gives back to the community.
When I call my bank, I want to talk to a real person.
Yes, we need a local banker that we can depend on.
Franklin Bank and Trust wants to keep banking personal. That's why all of our banking decisions are made at the local level. That's what you do in a hometown bank. You put people first.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called Smart Pack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. Smart Pack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about Smart Pack.
Rainy, soggy day, South Warren High School here in Bowling Green as they're getting all the hurdles off the track at the Sky Conference Track and Field Meet. As we get results, we are passing them on to you as once they are certified and verified and hermetically sealed, then we'll get them and pass along to you, and we'll update the standings as we get them, as we do have one race that has been challenged, and so we've not gotten word on the girls 4x800, the very first race of the day.
Scott, I do want to say we have now been at all four schools doing events, all four.
Yes.
I cannot put into words how kind and awesome the hospitality has been by the schools, and I just wanted to say a big thank you. They have been tremendous.
Well, and those of you who have been watching for the last week or so, the numbers are continuing to grow each and every broadcast that I'm able to go back and check at prepspin.com. Those of you who have viewed, and it's just the numbers are just great, and we know it's only going to grow. Word continues to spread about our Warren County Public Schools Sports Network and the events that we're doing, and as this is a good test run through the end of May, because next fall it's like Katie bar the door, here we go, because there's so much going on, and we look forward to being a part of that as we spotlight these student athletes in the Warren County Public Schools. And here today, it's other schools that are here, and we don't mind promoting them whatsoever.
And, you know, Scott, I just thought of something about momentum with high school teams. The last event that we covered was softball, and Greenwood gets a really nice win in softball over Warren East. And then I saw last night they had another really nice win.
Yeah, yes, they did. You know, and Warren East also won 2 games at the 2A state championship, and they're playing sometime today.
You're right.
For the 2A state championship.
Yes. And again, we talked about that. Coach McKinney, once again, in Warren East, they always bounce back really well.
Yeah, I know South Warren got a good win last night. Greenwood got a good win at the Greenwood Border Battle. I doubt anything's going to get to play today. If possible, it might be late today, but they did get some of those games in last night.
You mentioned South Warren softball. How great has Emily Reynolds been?
Well,
wow.
She hit her first home run as they're off here in the girls 100-meter dash. As they go across the way, they're all bunched together. That looks like that may be Carson Deaton of South Warren with the lead. Erica Smith of Bowling Green, Carson Deaton, Amaya Carter, Zanaya Owens, Bailey Moore, Myra Jones, Katie Chittister, and Hannah Wiles were in that girls 100-meter dash. And we'll have a second heat coming up in just a moment. Leonani Lewis of Warren Central. It's Alexa Smith, Barron County. Gracie Cardwell, Butler County. Germani Morris of Russellville. Kelsey Lazo of Warren Central. Lily Elmore, Barron County. And Madison Lawson, Warren East will be here in the second of 2 timed girls 100-meter dashes. The boys will run next. Then we got a relay, a run. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll have some hurdles as we see them starting to move hurdles across the way. You see them prepared today for the rain. They've known for a week it was going to rain today, and it has been raining since early this morning. It's just a steady light rain. As we look at the radar, it's just going to be green. I know it is, Mike, for a couple hours, and that's just part of it.
It's just the kind of a day, Scott. I'll guarantee you at about 7 o'clock this evening, all these student athletes are going to be ready to have a pizza and get on the couch and call it an early night and get a good night's rest. They're going to be tired.
All right, I'm looking at future radar up until, 5 or so, and it's nothing but green all the way, till then, and probably till about 7 tonight as it finally will slack down. But, for the most part, we're going to have rain up to about 10-mile-an-hour winds here at the Sky Conference track meet.
Scott, if I could real quick, we mentioned softball. We have not seen South Warren softball in person. It's just the way the schedule's gone. But, of course, we're going to get them this coming week and looking forward to it. And, that connection with I mentioned Emily Reynolds. Of course, her mom, Kelly Reynolds, is the head coach. Kat Downing, now Kat Smith, I believe.
Kat
got
Smith,
married.
yes.
And Taylor Proctor used to be an assistant. That connection, do not underestimate that. That has been, you really see that coaching tree. And, of course, Kat and Taylor were teammates at WKU Catcher Battery, a battery combination.
Kelly Reynolds was the coach at Warren Central for several years and then got out of it as she was having kids.
Yep.
And then got back into it. And, of course, she's a former Miss Kentucky softball. There they go in this heat across the way as you've got 3 of them right there on the inside. It looks like Warren Central in this heat. Leonani Lewis will take this heat. Of course, it's combined times of the 2 heats and how you place. So we once get all these results, have not received any updated results. So once they're all verified and everything, we'll get them. And sometimes it just takes a little bit to get them. Boys 100-meter dash will be up next. Jaden Shannon of Bowling Green in lane 1, Andrew Hatcher, Greenwood lane 2, Ira Matheos, Greenwood lane 3, Jamarcus Miley, Barron County lane 4, Josh Morris, Butler County lane 5, Tyler Wilson, Barron County lane 6, Damian Boards, Warren East lane 7, and Tyseem Day of Warren Central will be in lane 8, one of 2 boys 100-meter dash here at South Warren. As the girls' high jump is continuing down to our right. Wish we could have a view of that for you, but not able to get you that.
Scott, I got a question for you. As I mentioned, I moved to Bowling Green 4.5 years ago and just love it here. You being a veteran of covering sports in this area, I'm going to test your memory. In your time among Warren County Public Schools, who are some standout track and field athletes that come to your mind right off the top of your head?
Well, I go back into the late 70s. Warren Central was very good. Bowling Green had some very good. Jim Cummings at Warren Central was very, very quick.
What events? Was he a sprinter?
He was a sprinter, 100 meters, or at that time it was the 100-yard dash, before they converted to all meters. Ran some relays. He was very good. I'm trying to go back in my memory there. Warren East had some really good ones also. Bowling Green. Of course, at that time, there was only 3 high schools here: Bowling Green, Warren Central, Warren East. And you just, then the surrounding areas, it was really good. And God, I don't know if there's just one really outstanding. Each school seems like every year has a couple really outstanding ones to really go back. But, Jim just stands out because he was just so quick. The Grant brothers at Warren East, Richard and Robert Grant.
During what time did they compete?
They were in the late, that would have been late 70s, early 80s. The Grant brothers, they were super quick. I mean, they were a tandem that ran for Warren East, and they were just outstanding runners over there. And of course, Warren East has had some great cross-country teams over the years.
Boy, they have. In my time here, they've had some outstanding distance runners.
Yeah, you go back in the early 2000s, Warren East under Rob Bowers.
Yes.
Really had some good, I think they won a couple of state championships cross-country. Here we go. This is heat number 1 of the boys' 100-meter dash. As you see them across the way, they're all kind of bunched there together, but I'm not sure if who that was winning there, that heat. Could have been Jamarcus Miley of Barron County, kind of in the middle of the track there, but at our angle it's tough to see what lane they are in from our vantage point. There will be 2 heats. You'll get ready for the next heat. And in this heat, in the boys 100-meter dash, you got D'Angelo Patterson of Warren Central, lane 1. Easton Barlow of Bowling Green, lane 2. Kyle Chambers, Butler County, lane 3. Isaiah Gee, Warren East, lane 4. Brian Soso, South Warren, 5. Donovan Lachlan, South Warren in 6. Monty Williams, Russellville, 7. A.J. Woodard of Russellville in lane 8. As they get their practice starts out of the blocks. Did you ever run out of the blocks, Mike?
I did twice, and both times because of injuries. It was one time was in the 4x100. I have no sprinting speed, and it was literally you had to get a point, and we had injuries during the race. The other time was a 4x2, and I started both of them, and it is, if you're not used to it like I wasn't, it was really hard. I mean, and the biggest fear is you don't want a false start, but each time I remember I got out of there very slowly. But I didn't have any pressure on me. We just needed a point late in the race. One thing, Scott, you're limited in the number of events you compete in, and they always saved me for one in an emergency. Those are the 2 times. But boy, starting blocks, yeah, that's a great question. It was hard for me.
I remember in middle school, we didn't have middle school per se here in Morgan County back when I was there, but we had 7th and 8th grade, junior high basically. But we had a countywide track meet. I threw the shot put, enjoyed that. We had tug of war back then.
Wow.
Yeah, we had tug of war. And
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is back in the mid-late 70s. And that's a traditional tug of war. And that's what we did as one of the events. Of course, we were county champs. I was not the anchor. I can tell you that on that rope. I was about midway through it. Here we go. Heat 2 of the boys 100-meter is underway. Fast start. As you see them come into camera. That's on the inside sprinting, and I believe that's D'Angelo Patterson of Warren Central. Boy,
nicely done.
Yeah, that was a nice quick heat there by those two. We'll get some more finals results here in just a few minutes.
Scott, I did want to bring something up to you as far as the host of this meet, South Warren High School. They've had 2 athletic directors. The first one who retired about a year ago, one of my favorite people, Chris Decker. And, of course, Nick Lowe has taken over, and Nick used to be the athletic director.
Nick was a great runner at Greenwood.
And you just led me right into that. You know what this meet means to him, both as an athletic director and personally. This is like another child for him.
Yeah, and Gary Barnett, the coach here at South Warren, was a track athlete himself in high school. But, yeah, Nick Lowe, cross country, man, he was one of the top in the state. And you talk about Greenwood cross country over the years. The Eaton boys. One of them, I believe, or maybe both of them, were the Mr. Runners of the Year at Greenwood. They've had some really talented ones there at Greenwood.
It's kind of funny. When I first got to know Nick, someone like you said, he was a really good distance runner, and I brought that up to Nick, and Nick said, typical modest self, that was okay. I said, no, Nick, I heard you were really good. But again, anyone that knows Nick, this is going to be well. You mentioned Gary. I mean, they're doing this right, and especially, they would love to have ideal weather conditions today. The rain does affect the time between the setups. You mentioned the hurdles. You just don't move as quickly, and they're doing a great job so far.
Yeah, that's just it. Everyone's battling the weather as we will come up to the girls 4x200-meter relays. They get to the starting line. Butler County will be in lane 1, Bowling Green lane 2, Greenwood lane 3. Warren East lane 4, South Warren in 5, Warren Central 6, Barron County in lane 7 if they are all in here, as we do know that sometimes they will pull out for various reasons.
And this is where, Scott, we talked about keep an eye on those Baton Exchanges for this.
Yeah, it's one lap around for everybody. Let's see here. Kendra Basham will lead off for Butler County, Anna Neal for Bowling Green, Kayla Williams, Greenwood, Cheyenne Stark for Warren East, Madeline Irvin, South Warren, Mia Cadillo of Warren Central, and Lindsay Billingsley of Barron County will be your starters. One lap around, girls 4x200-meter relay. Rain continues to fall. It's very light, steady rain. It's an aggravating rain. Is about the best way to describe it. It's aggravating.
Well put, Scott. Very. That's a great way to put it.
As they gather at the start line, as our official will get into position. As they are staggered in lanes. And so he'll have to get up into that first turn where they all can see and hear him. And after I got out of high school, Mike, I helped run a couple of track meets. I was actually a starter, so I got to use the pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. I enjoyed it after high school, being able to come back for a year or two and help out with some of the track meets. Cross-country coach, we're talking about Greenwood, Art Schuba. He had so much success over there, at Greenwood. All right, as we're getting some results in here in just a moment, we'll get you caught up on those.
Talk about a rock star. That's Art.
Yes. All right, here we go. We have the girls 4x800 meter relay. We do have the final results. South Warren, Greenwood, Barron County, Bowling Green, Warren East is the order of finish there. All right, then let's see here. What else have we got here? We've got the boys 110 meters. Morgan Ray of South Warren won with an 18.7. Rance Littlepage of Bowling Green second with an 18.8. And in third place, Drew Smothers of Greenwood, 18.9. And we got another result here, a couple more results as they get ready to start the girls 4x200 meter relay. Girls 100 meter dash. Leonie Lewis is at Warren Central in a time of 12.8. And she was in that second heat, Mike. Mm-hmm. Carson Deaton of South Warren, who won the first heat, ends up in second at 13.1. Myra Jones of Greenwood third. Kelsey Lazo of Warren Central in fourth place. As the official gets into place, and we got one more result here. Boys 100 meter results, we already got those. Jamarcus Miley of Barron County, a time of 11.3. D'Angelo Patterson, Warren Central, second, 11.5. Ira Mateos of Greenwood, 11.6 in third place, as our official is not quite ready. They're letting him here on this rainy day.
I'll be honest, Scott, I can't tell if the starter is the same one that we had last week.
Yes, I talked with him. He's over in that red coat. It's the same one we had last week at Greenwood.
He's outstanding.
Yes.
He is absolutely outstanding. He knows what he's doing. He's in control, but he's a great communicator with the student athletes, and I love that.
All right, men, after 4 events have completed, Greenwood is in first with 36 points. South Warren second with 34 points. In third place, Barron County with 22 points. Bowling Green in fourth with 20 points, and that's only after 4 events that are being scored so far. Girls results, as we have the official saying, let's get ready. Girls through 3 events, Warren East with 26 points. First, Greenwood second at 24.5. Third place, South Warren at 22.5 points. Girls 4x200 meter relay, and we're underway. You'll see them come into our view momentarily. And that is going to be, looks like Warren Central, Mia Cordillo with the early lead. South Warren looks to be in second place. Warren East in third, Greenwood fourth. And there is the first handoff. 4x200 meter. They each run a half a lap. I may have misspoken earlier saying they all run 1 lap, but it's a half a lap each. They're getting ready for the second exchange, and it looks like Warren Central still has the lead, and South Warren may be in second place. And there's the handoffs. Looks like everybody's good on the handoffs. We'll pick them up as they come around, as they'll make their final baton exchange just down to our right. that is Warren Central, South Warren, Bowling Green, Greenwood in that order. 4 teams in this event. And here comes the final exchange, and it is, an exchange trouble by Warren Central. And they are going to be out of the exchange zone as I see a white flag goes up. They were having trouble with that final runner for Warren Central, maybe taking off just a little too early. Nadia Espinola looked like she took off just a hair too early, and they made a tough exchange. And it looks like South Warren over there in that anchor is Carson Deaton, and South Warren it looks like will be first. Warren Central unofficially second, Bowling Green third, and Greenwood, but we'll wait and see. But I believe Warren Central got out of the exchange zone to our right, which our camera could not pick it up, but I was able to watch it, and the white flag immediately went up. So
I'll tell you what, Scott, it is, video doesn't do justice how hard a baton exchange is when you combine that the runner getting the baton wants to get going as quick as possible, and you are dealing with an exhausted runner. So, their form is not textbook because they're tired. And, so you're talking about 2 people trying to get an exchange, and they're in much different states of physical condition and so forth, and thinking differently. It's hard. I mean, and
it's a timing issue. You got to work on that in practice.
You do. And even when you work on it in practice, it's not the same as a meet. A lot of times you're not practicing in these conditions, and oh man, it's hard.
Especially if that baton is wet and the person getting ready to hand it off may be having trouble, it's slipping and they're trying to hold on to it extra hard on that.
And then you throw into the fact that they teach you to take it in one hand, transfer it to another. Usually it's left to right. Well, so you're taking a lot of times with your opposite hand if you're right-handed. Again, there's a lot of factors that go into that, and you mentioned I couldn't see it because of being obstructed. I feel bad for the student athletes when that happens.
Yeah, especially when you're in the lead and that happens. All right, coming up next is the boys 4x200 meter relay as they get near the start area. We'll set it for you. Bowling Green in lane 1, Easton 2, Barron County 3, Butler County lane 4, Greenwood 5, South Warren 6, Warren Central 7. If they are all entered into this, the lead off runner for Bowling Green will be Javi Bunton, Warren East, Isaiah Gee, Will Davis of Barron County, Josh Morris, Butler County, Matt Kirby of Greenwood, KJ Davis of South Warren, and Tyseem Day of Warren Central. As I see them coming over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we may only have 5 entrants here in this race instead of the 7. So we'll pick that up. Looks like, Butler County is for sure, and I believe South Warren.
You mentioned Butler County. I'm sure we're going to see that young man again very soon who was very impressive for them last Saturday.
Oh, no doubt. Binion.
He was really good.
He ran earlier today, but we'll see him in some of the other events. So once these teams get situated, Warren East, Greenwood, South Warren, and I believe it may be Warren Central entered in this, but here comes some of the other ones. Okay, there comes Bowling Green, so they're getting set. While they're all getting ready, let's step out on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Leachman Buick GMC is the #1 GMC dealership in Kentucky and multiple winner of the GM Mark of Excellence Award, and just recently achieved the #1 ranking as the most trusted GM service department in the Southeast United States. If something isn't right with your vehicle, no matter the make or model, just give Leachman a call. We offer a 15-minute diagnosis at no charge. Schedule your next visit at LeachmanAuto.com and discover why generations of customers choose Leachman Buick GMC.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called SmartPack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. SmartPack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about SmartPack.
Scott Thompson, Mike Cleff on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network as We welcome you into South Warren on a rainy, soggy, nasty, dreary, any other derogatory comment you want to make about the weather. We'll take it here. Those parents, grandparents, or whoever across the way or here on the same side, hats off to them for supporting whoever they're here supporting today, as they're braving the elements just like the competitors. At least there are tents set up by each school for their student athletes to get into, but once you get settled over there under an umbrella, you don't want to move. Yeah, you see the South Warren, that's at the finish line. And I'm sure I know they have another tent back up towards the weight room, restroom area. As they're getting into the starting blocks across the way to get started. This is the boys 4x200 meter relay. And we got the 1600 meter run coming up next. A little breezy out there. You can feel it blowing. The rain has now to a drizzle, but we expected a drizzle to a steady rain the entire time we are here. Thanks to Leachman Auto, Franklin Bacon Trust, Spring Hill Pharmacy, and Mingy Beef Jerky, our sponsors of the Warren County Public School Sports Network. We're underway as they make the turn. Coming in front of us here on the boys 4x200 meter relay. And it's Greenwood, South Warren, followed by Warren East, Warren Central, Bowling Green, and I believe Butler County. And there go the exchanges, and it looks like we're clear on the first handoff. They go across the way. Got a tight 1-2-3 battle going right now. And it's a 4-team battle as they make up some room across the way. Now, here we go on the third exchange. Here comes your three runners. We'll pick them up as they come in front of us. You've got Warren East now in the lead. Bowling Green is second. As they make the final leg. One more turn to go. They'll come in your screen momentarily. We're going to have a tight finish, 1 and 2 across the way. And it looks like that might be Barron County. I'm not sure, or Butler County. Unable to tell the jersey when they came by as they were getting situated. And that concludes that race. Up next will be the girls' 1600 meter run. So they're going to run a few laps around this track. They'll go 4 laps around the track. 1600 meter run. Here are the scheduled participants in the girls' 1600 meter run. Riley Johnson, South Warren. Taylor Brown, South Warren. Chesney McPherson of Barron County. Katie Wooldridge of Greenwood. Then you also have Claire Ellington of Greenwood. Isabella Von Steinford of Bowling Green. Emma McGuffey, Warren East. Briley Webster, Butler County. Emma Winchell, Butler County. Macy Bruce of Warren East. Naomi Gomez of Warren Central and Belen Gomez of Warren Central. Those are the ones that are scheduled to be in this girls' 1600 meter run. Scott Thompson, Mike Cleff here with you this morning. We'll have more results as they are available to us. We appreciate the folks at the finish line making sure we get those in a timely fashion once they can get them in and get them all tabulated.
Scott, if I believe, and maybe you're going through this, what you just described, from our vantage point, the South Warren uniforms and the Russellville uniforms, I'm having a hard time differentiating, and I was wondering if that's who the battle was for first in that relay. Because from when they're finishing, we don't see the logo on the front of the jersey.
Yeah, because some of the Barron County jerseys earlier were burgundy, so they were scheduled to be there. Butler County usually is in that
blue,
a blue color, right? And then you had Greenwood, South Warren and Warren Central are similar in design, but one's blue and one's black, but they're dark enough that sometimes it's tough to pick up. Warren East is kind of got a grayish color. It's easy to note them. Bowling Green has on black with the purple Bowling Green on it. And here we go. This is the girls' 1,600-meter run underway. And if you go by times, I guess, of qualifying times, Riley Johnson, Taylor Brown of South Warren have the two fastest times. So we'll see if South Warren sets the pace. And here we go. You have four bunched up, two Greenwood, South Warren, and I believe that's a Bowling Green, followed by Warren East. Yeah, Bowling Green is wearing black with the purple on the front as well.
Well, I remember last week the South Warren student athlete in the girls' 1,600-meter run. She was impressive. She picked her moment, kind of drafted off the other competitors in the first lap and a half, and then just separated and bye-bye. Very smooth and efficient performance.
We got one more track meet we're going to do. We'll be out at Ken Skay Track and Field. Ken, a longtime track and field coach at Warren East. He's retired. He was an assistant principal out there for years. Started out at Bristow. Ken and I go way back to the early 80s, Mike. We used to umpire a lot of Little League baseball games together.
What was he like back in those days, Scott?
Same as he is now.
Yep.
He's not changed a bit.
Good people.
Yeah, he's a good person. And he's actually my neighbor. We live about 5 doors from each other. Ken's just a great person out there at Warren East, and they're glad to have him still be able to.
Sharp as a tack.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. We're on lap 2 of 4. Girls' 1,600-meter run. And that is South Warren. I believe Bowling Green, Greenwood, and Greenwood are your 4 as we're getting results in.
And, Scott, I would say here's a sign of a good distance runner. The young woman from South Warren that's in the lead. Watch her form right now when she's coming around, which will be entering the halfway point. And then watch her in the last 300 meters on the final lap. It won't change. The arms won't tighten up. They won't sag. The strides won't. That's the sign of a really good distance runner.
All right, Barron County won the boys 4 by 200-meter relay. So I guess some of the Barron County runners are wearing black and some of them are wearing the burgundy top. But Barron County wins the boys 4 by 200-meter relay in a time of 1 minute 41.3 seconds. Bowling Green was in second, 141.7. Warren East took third, Greenwood fourth, Warren Central 5, and South Warren 6. The men's team, after 5 events, Greenwood has 41 points to lead, South Warren with 37, Barron County with 32 points, Bowling Green in 4th place, and that's on the boys' side. There they are, 3rd lap.
See, look at that. Her form is still the same. Smooth.
And I believe that's the same I believe that might be Riley Johnson. And she has the lead, and along with, I believe it's Chesney McPherson of Barron County, I believe is in 2nd. And then you've got 2 Greenwood girls, 3rd, 4th.
And tell me if I'm wrong, Scott. Last week's Gator Invitational, Barron County was not in the field. This is the first time we're seeing them, right?
Yes, correct. Okay. Correct. And, Russellville was in limited events just like they are today. But Barron County was not there at Greenwood. Of course, the amount of teams depends on your capacity, which goes towards your total number of people you can have in the stadium. And I believe each school allowed each participant 2 tickets to attend today. Or they could buy, up to 2 tickets.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Barron County runner, this is going to be a good finish.
Yeah, we got 1 lap to go. And I believe it's Riley Johnson, South Warren, and Chesney McPherson of Barron County. They are 1-2, and I believe McPherson has passed. As they'll pass in front of us, and they'll be almost halfway around this final lap.
These are a pair of good distance runners.
Yes. As Barron County's McPherson has opened up a little bit of a lead here. And she's extending it out as she goes around turn number 3. And Greenwood is in 3rd and 4th place with their runners, and they've separated themselves as the rain has picked up a little bit, kind of blowing at an angle as they make the final turn there, and I believe that is going to be Chesney McPherson stretching her lead out over, I believe, Riley Johnson of South Warren across the way. And that will be your girls girls 1,600 meter run. As we still have some runners just starting their 4th lap.
And Scott, that is a textbook case of excellent distance running by the Barron County student athlete. She drafts off the South Warren distance runner, stays within about 10 yards, and then right when you called it, Scott, right when that gun lap went off, she switched into another gear, and and that was it. And again, it wasn't a poor race by the South Warren runner. She ran a good race, but the Barron County distance runner ran a better race. That's how you do it. And if you've got a good kick like that Barron County runner does, that's what you do. Nice job.
Yep.
Good race.
And now here comes the rain. Heavier. It has gotten heavier here at South Warren. Almost got to move our equipment back because it's coming in the window here.
Mm-hmm.
As they'll get ready for the boys. We'll shut my window mic here where I can see with the window shut.
And you
can see that rain. Yeah, you got a good shot of that rain right there.
Yep.
The boys.
We'll say it again, Scott. There's no thunder and no lightning.
No, it's just a rainy old day.
And so a lot of people are going, well, why are they still competing? Hey, track and field, they can do it.
Unless it's lightning.
Think of soccer.
Yeah.
They'll keep playing as long as there's no thunder and lightning.
All right, let's set the field for the boys. 1,600 meter run as they'll gather them up. I believe everybody has cleared the track for the girls. They're getting them over there. Kate Duncan of Greenwood has the fastest time coming in. Kellen Patterson, South Warren. Trey Salvador, Greenwood. Bryce McAllister, South Warren. Michael House, Bowling Green. Parker Smith of Butler County. Clay Wallace, Bowling Green. Then you've got Riley Gaffin of Barron County. Jacob Camp, Butler County. Jaden Medley, Barron County. Jacob Miller, Warren East. Addiston Davis, Warren Central. Jacob Dennison, Warren Central. And Andrew McGuffey of Warren East are your participants here in this event. The boys' 1,600 meter run Sky Conference track and field meet here at South Warren High School. Scott Thompson, he's Mike Cleff. Double duty for Mike. He's got a headset and a camera on. And those officials, which a lot of them are coaches and everybody that's volunteering to help score and watch and officiate and timing and all that, hats off to them. They don't get breaks. It's nonstop for them. As they're around the first turn, they'll come into our picture in just a moment. And we'll see if we can pick up the lead. And it looks like that's probably Kate Duncan of Greenwood. And the two South Warren runners, Kellen Patterson, Bryce McAllister, right there with him, followed by Trey Salvador. That's your first 4 runners We're just in lap 1 of the boys' 1,600-meter run, 4 laps around. And what great exercise, those of you who want to just do for a walk, go to your local high school, walk around the track. You go four times around, that's a mile.
This young man competing for Greenwood, he really made an impression with me last week. He's a good one.
Mm-hmm. He came in with a time of 4:35.56. That is 24 seconds faster than the next quickest time. So
he's not messing around, Scott.
No. We'll pick them up here for you in just a minute as they'll come across into our view as they make the second turn. And he's got himself a good, 10-second lead right now probably?
His form is so smooth.
About an 8-second lead about what I unofficially count. 2 South Warren and Greenwood. So Greenwood, South Warren, Greenwood. Top 4 runners. Then you got Bowling Green and Warren East. Like Bowling Green.
I'll zoom out here, Scott, so
Barron
people can
County.
see the gap when he comes around.
Yeah, because you'll see him. There he is across the way. He's coming into your screen right now. There is the leader. That is Kate Duncan of Greenwood. And then you will see the other runners behind him. The 2 South Warren runners are together, and the other Greenwood runner, Trey Salvador, has fallen back of the 2 South Warren runners. That's 2 laps down, 2 to go.
Scott, did you say there's a 24-second difference in the times that were entered?
The times I have on the entry sheets, there's a 24-second difference between first and second place. Of course, that doesn't always matter, but right here, Kate's Duncan, look at that stride. He looks very comfortable as you saw him go past us there. He's probably opened up a good 15-second lead right now as he makes the turn to the third turn on the track, and here comes right in front of us the 2 South Warren runners hanging together. That's every bit a good 15-second lead. Kate Duncan finishing up lap number 3 here. You see him come across the way as he is just in a world of his own right now. Look at him go. Battling the elements here. A driving rain coming in on his side over there. 1 lap to go.
Scott, if I remember, I think he'll also run in the 800-meter run, if I remember right.
Probably will. I can scroll through all my stuff here, but the rain is a driving rain now. You may not be able to see it on the screen, but here he comes. He's going to lap a runner right here. Kate Duncan of Greenwood. There he goes in front of the camera. And he's opened up almost a 100-meter lead. He's got about a half a track lead. Wow. And that's the difference, Mike, you were talking about. A 24-second difference. That's going to be pretty close to what he's going to end up winning by. 2 South Warren runners, as they pass in front of us here, they've spaced themselves out just a little bit. And then the other, the two runners for South Warren, Kelton Patterson and Bryce McAllister, then Trey Salvador. And it looks like Salvador has been passed as they continue to run. And this is the heaviest the rain has been all morning, Mike.
Yeah, it's not good whatsoever. I'll pan over.
Can you imagine trying to throw a discus or a shot put in this? You're already starting out with an object, then it's wet, and trying to, release it like you're supposed to. Mm-hmm. This is the boys' 1,600-meter run. Coming up next, we got 400-meter dash coming up.
One of the things, you get asked a lot. Again, the young man from Greenwood that just won.
Kate Duncan, yeah.
Yeah, someone will say, well, do you think he's going to be conserving his energy with such a big lead for the next race? No, he's a competitor. He wants to try to get the best time. As a competitor, you mentioned he entered with a time of 4:35. I don't care what the elements are. He wants to better that.
Well, that's what, everybody's out for that personal best each and every time out. Some days you're going to get it. Sometimes it's based on, are you pushed? And some days you just don't feel like it. Bottom line, these athletes have those days where they're not 100%, but yet they'll give it their all.
Yep.
And coming up next will be the girls' 400-meter dash. We'll set that for you in just a moment as the guys are finishing up the 1,600-meter run.
Scott, can you tell the rain now with that shot right there? Can you tell the rain that's coming down there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you sure can. It reminds me of watching a baseball game and a rain delay. Except there's no delays here, folks. The Sky Conference track meet will continue as we work our way through. We're, almost halfway through our track events. We do not have any finals yet on the high jumps and long jump, triple jump.
And, Scott, you mentioned this before. I want to apologize to – first of all, I want to thank everyone for watching and listening to the live stream, but the field event participants are getting shorted today, and I really feel bad about that just because of the obstruction and what we can't get to. And, you mentioned – you just said it, how hard today it is to grip a discus or a shot put. And, and we haven't even talked about the high jumpers. It's tough. And so I really feel bad that we're not able to get the visual. You're mentioning the results, and gladly so, I should say. But visually, it's just really, really hard. And she's not on camera, but someone's bringing us some refreshments.
Miss Bartley here is Bartlett bringing us some refreshments here. Thank you. We appreciate the folks here at South Warren doing that.
Yep.
Your choice of snack, Mike. I'll let you pick.
Got a shot of the water there,
and
got to go with the M&Ms.
You got it. You can have that.
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, we got a couple of minutes. I just, again, I don't want to sound, you've been thanking everybody involved, and it's a work in progress. We're getting there, but I'll put you on the spot. Your gut feeling. How do you think things have gone? Are we going again? We know we got the support. I mean, from the people.
Starts at Rob Clayton on down, Warren County Public School Superintendent.
Absolutely.
I think we've got all the kinks on our side here. We're still working out some of the internet Wi-Fi connections where we can stream both to Prep Spin and to WBKO. We're still working with the Warren County Schools IT department because we do have some issues because of the spacing. I know we're good at Greenwood softball right now. We're working on the Greenwood baseball. Of course, we know we're good at East and Central, but here at South Warren, we've got some issues. Football, we're good. Is getting softball and baseball, where we're good for that. It's just it's trying to work solutions out that aren't very costly. And when we're talking major tens of thousands of dollars to run internet from a school to a press box, that's not affordable. So we have some some things we are working on. We do have some devices, and we still have some limitations on a couple of places, but we're making the best of it, and that's all we can do right now. But we have the folks at Prep Spin behind us at WBKO and of course Warren County Public Schools. Also,
and every party. You mentioned Mr. Clayton, Mr. C, and then of course Jason Kupchella, the Chief Operating Officer, Mr. K, as I affectionately refer to Mr. Clayton and Mr. Kupchella, Mr. C and Mr. K. But everybody involved. You mentioned William Warfield with Prep Spin, passionately behind this. Tim Coles, the Vice President, General Manager at WBKO Television, very committed to this, very interested in this. And the sponsors, Leachman, Buick, GMC, Cadillac,
Franklin Bank,
Spring Hill
Pharmacy.
Yeah. And Scott, I've had the beef jerky. And
Mingy.
Mingy. Oh, it's good.
Yeah,
beef
it doesn't
jerky.
look like it's pronounced the way it is, but it's Mingy beef jerky.
And I would make the mistake pronouncing it Mingwa, but I know their beef jerky. I know their beef jerky tastes good.
Yeah.
But it's there's just a lot of elements here, and And our school district, and when I say our, I'm an employee of Warren County Public Schools. This is a new project, and it's an ambitious one. And when you're going to be doing something ambitious, you're going to hit some speed bumps and, some unexpected situations. And I just appreciate everybody's patience with this. We're getting there. That's how I feel. Everybody, we're getting there.
All right, here we go with the 4x100 meter girls relay. Let me scroll back over here as we're getting some results. Well, we got a false start right off the bat. Okay. Let me scroll through here and get my, I think I got some things out of order here on my.
And while Scott's doing that, Scott Thompson's bringing you the play-by-play. Mike Cleff here standing in, adding some stuff here. They're between that false start and the 4x100 meter relay.
Yeah, Bowling Green is in lane 1, South Warren in 2, Warren East 3, Greenwood 4, Warren Central 5, Barron County in lane 6. As taking my pictures, we got out of order.
Okay.
So of what the events are, well, only because they had them out of order. We were rushing to get that and trying to stay dry and everything. So false start as Bowling Green Zanaya Owens will be in the lead off of the girls 4x100 meter relay. Lily Degahart for South Warren, Cheyenne Stark, Warren East, Kayla Williams, Greenwood, Mia Cardillo, Warren Central, and Lindsay Billingsley of Barron County are the leadoff runners. Each one will run 100 meters, which is half a lap. And as this rain, and it's interesting to see where they keep the batons in between these races. And I see a couple of the runners in these exchange zones. They're bouncing, they're bending over, trying to keep their hands dry. They're bent over because they've got on those tank tops and shorts. They're braving the elements. It's not like they got on sweatpants and these hooded sweatshirts or anything, and we're off. Girls 4x100 meter relay. As the rain is a very steady, I want to call it a thick rain. It's what it feels like, a thick rain. Here they come in front of us. Warren Central, Warren East, South Warren, Bowling Green. As we check the exchanges, you won't be able to see it in the camera. Everybody is good on the exchanges. There'll be 2 more exchanges as they come into your camera here in just a moment. There they go. And I believe that's going to be Warren Central across the way. I believe it's Warren Central, maybe Warren East, South Warren. I'm not sure of the finish, just from our vantage point. That's a quick race. Very quick race. It happens that quick. The guys are next. And we'll set that field for you here in just a moment. Butler County 1, Barron County lane 2, Greenwood lane 3, Warren Central 4, Warren East 5, South Warren 6, Bowling Green 7, if they are all competing.
Scott, you mentioned a while ago the temperature is 52 degrees, but it feels like in the last half hour it feels colder out there.
With an 8-10 mile an hour breeze, yeah, it is definitely going to feel cooler for sure. All right, we'll get you caught up here on as they get the entrance for the boys going down to the finish line area. Let's get you caught up on the latest final results that we have. This is the boys 1,600 meter run. Yep, Cates Duncan. He wins it with a time of 4:34. Second place, Kellen Patterson, South Warren, 5:01. So that is 27 seconds difference there.
Scott, you mentioned, I believe you said his entered time for the race was 4:35, and you mentioned he finishes in 434 and change. That's the competitor in him.
He's right there. Yeah, I mean, he was right there on it. And Bryce McAllister of South Warren finished in third. So through 7 events for the boys, Greenwood with 59 points in first, South Warren 51 in second, and Bowling Green third with 47 points. Other results that we have as the boys get lined up. The girls' 1,600-meter run. Chesney McPherson of Barron County will win it with a time of 5:39.10. South Warren's Taylor Brown finishes second, 5:43 and a half. And Caden Wooldridge of Greenwood finishes third. So the girls, after 6 events, South Warren with the lead. They have 50 points. Warren East 47 points in second. Greenwood is third at 43.5 points. Warren Central in fourth at 41.5 points. And we still don't have any of the field events as they are still going on, Mike. And so, until those are all done, we won't have those results. So these standings change with every event.
Scott, and forgive me if you don't know that, I'm not sure of this, I'm asking, did all of the field events go on as scheduled for this meet?
Right. High jump, triple jump, long jump are going on, and shot put. There was no pole vault in this meet.
Okay.
So, yes, everything is going on as the participants are getting into their lanes for exchanges. As you see the rain across the way. People trying to stay dry. Once you get settled on a day like today, you don't want to move.
Not at all.
If you're dry, you want to stay dry.
Mm-hmm.
If you got to go, you wait as long as you can. That's the best way to describe it, right, Mike? They're in the set position, ready position, I should say.
Thank you, Scott. You made me laugh.
Hey, rainy day. We got to kill a little time as we're getting ready to start. It does take a little longer. They're off and running. Boys, 4x100-meter relay. This will go quick. You'll see them come into your camera in just a moment. We apologize for limited views today. And it looks like Bowling Green in the lead. South Warren, Warren East, Warren Central, Greenwood, and then Barron County. Looks like all the exchanges are good. As they go across the way. That's Bowling Green in the lead. But the field is made up a little bit of ground. You got a battle there, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, all 5 teams right there in a battle. Well, it'll be interesting to see the final results there.
One thing, Scott, in case people are wondering, with the 4x100 and the 4x200, if it looks like at times one relay team has a bigger lead, those are the 2 relays. They have to stay in their own lane. In the 4x400, I believe it's the third runner can get over to the inside lane. So it's a completely different vantage point compared to the longer relays.
All right, 400-meter dash for the girls. They'll get them up. We'll step out for just a moment as you're watching live coverage of the Sky Track Meet here at South Warren, brought to you by the Warren County Public School Sports Network.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called Smart Pack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. Smart Pack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about Smart Pack.
Scott Thompson, Mike Cleff with you here at South Warren High School. Welcome in to the Sky Conference Track Meet. Appreciate everybody joining us as it's a rainy, soggy, nasty day. Coming up next will be the dashes, girls 400-meter dash, and then the boys. Lost my place here in all my lineups, Mike. All right, here we go. That's the boys' 400-meter dash. Let's get to the girls. That's what we want, isn't it? Girls 400-meter dash. Looks like Alyssa Cunningham of South Warren. Caroline Freeman of Greenwood, lane 2. Bella Elder, lane 3 from Bowling Green. Amaya Salvador, Greenwood, lane 4. Megan Kitchens, South Warren, lane 5. Bailey Moore, Butler County, lane 6. Ariana Simmons, lane 7, Warren Central. And Reagan Lawson, Warren East, lane 8. One of 2 timed heats. Girls 400-meter dash. As you see the rain, and in the lead, it's going to be South Warren. That is Megan Kitchens with the lead. And then Greenwood, I believe that's Salvador in second place at the moment. One lap around, 400-meter run or dash. Terminology's changed a little bit over the years. Used to be run, now they call it a dash. As the rain has gotten a little bit heavier. And that's going to be South Warren over there winning. Megan Kitchens, I believe, is going to come away with the victory. In second place, Amaya Salvador. As she crosses the finish line. And that might have been Caroline Freeman of Greenwood in third place.
Scott, I'll tell you what you just said about whether you call it the 400-meter run or the 400-meter dash, this is just my 2 cents from having taken part in this sport. The 400-meter dash or run is the hardest event because it's literally right there between, you can't do an all-out sprint. You have to pace yourself a little bit, but then again, you can't pace yourself too much. I always thought that my toughest teammates, the toughest competitors I've seen, take part in the 400-meter. It is grueling.
Here are the competitors for the girls 400-meter dash, the second heat. Jacaria Gaines of Warren Central, Raylan Jones, Warren East, Caroline Lamoth of Bowling Green, and Gracie Cardwell of Butler County are scheduled to run here. Of course, it's the best times of the 2 heats. And then we will have the boys 400-meter dash. They will all get into the starting blocks, and we'll be underway here in just a moment. As the boys high jump, I can see that taking place just to our right, just out of Mike's view there. We got baseball Monday, baseball Tuesday, and then softball next Wednesday, Monday. As we said, 6 o'clock start, Warren Central at South Warren. Bowling Green will be at Warren East on Tuesday. Then Thursday, if the rankings are the same, it's number 1 and number 25. Number 1, South Warren, depending on how things go voting-wise. Greenwood was number 25. That one will be a good battle over at Penny Reese Field.
You know, you mentioned, Scott, being at South Warren baseball on Monday. That was our first night of doing this. And so many just first-class coaches. But Chris Gage, the South Warren baseball coach, I vividly remember after the game ends, we get done, and yeah, South Warren wins, so Coach Gage is in a good mood, but you know him. He'd be the same way if they lost. He's asking you, he's asking me, anything we can do to make it better. I mean, just classy, really caring, and just made an impression with me.
Jason Jaggers at Greenwood, same way. He just I'm at, when we're out there at Warren East the other night, Greenwood and Warren East, as they're underway in the second heat, I said, guys, anything you want to talk about your teams on the broadcast? They said, no, we're just glad you're here. And that means a lot. The coverage that some of these student athletes might not normally get. Heat number 2 of the girls' 400-meter run. And that is Ray Ellen Jones in the lead right now. Best times of the 2 heats will be placed. And around corner 3, almost to corner 4, or turn 4. Once we get all the times tabulated, they'll send them to us, and we'll have the updated finishes for you. Coming up next will be the boys' 400-meter run.
And Scott, forgive me, because when I was coming across here to go to the press box and my view's obstructed, last week Greenwood had the clock out there for the student athletes to have a barometer where they are pace-wise. I don't believe I see a clock out there today, and I'm sure the weather has everything to do with that.
Yeah, they've got everything in that tent that you've zoomed in on before. Okay. So everything's contained there. I'm trying to remember when I was visiting with them after I got set up this morning. I don't know if they had it available there. It's possible they have it. I just don't know if it's easily available for them to see it. Right. Of course, they have people there calling out times usually when you cross the finish line there.
Very good there, yes. And they call them out on the longer races when you have more than one lap. They'll call out the time so you have a barometer where your splits are.
Boys 400-meter dash, Drew Fisher, Barron County, Hayden Harrell, Greenwood, Bowen Kirby of Butler County, Thomas Tenius, Bowling Green, Sean Cheney of Russellville, Wyatt Stratton, Butler County, Jules Malongika of Warren Central, and Brandon Irvin of South Warren are in the first heat of 2 heats for the boys, 400-meter dash. As they're getting their practices off of the blocks. If you've never run off blocks, it's interesting. I remember seeing years ago, Mike, in one of the hurdles or one of the dashes, everybody but one was in starting blocks. You know, and then there was one person, I can't remember the race it was, but I do remember seeing it, and they were as competitive as coming out of the blocks as they were from the starting position, standing up.
There are people I know through the years that, for lack of a better phrase, they're superstitious when it comes to starting blocks.
Yep, and here we go. We are off on the boys' 400-meter dash. As they come around the second turn, they'll be coming in front of us here momentarily. It's South Warren and Bowling Green. Looks like it is Brandon Irvin and Thomas Tenius of Bowling Green that were 1 and 2 as they make turn number 3 down there. And it looks like Tenius of Bowling Green I'm sorry, that is still South Warren with the lead, I believe. That is across the way, or the Bowling Green runner took over. That was Thomas Tenius, and then Brandon Irvin of South Warren looks like will be second place. As Bowling Green's Thomas Tenius, he made a big move around this third turn, and he took the lead.
Well, and forgive me for stating the obvious, anybody that is familiar with Bowling Green High School sports, Tenius is just one of those given, you know when you hear Tenius with Bowling Green High School sports, 2 words, instant credibility.
Yes. All right, hurdles will be next. No, I'm sorry, we have another heat. I have another heat of the boys' 400-meter dash. Connor Graves of Warren East, Andrew McGuffey, Warren East, Turner Siddons of Bowling Green, Albert Manfu of Greenwood, Chase Duggan, South Warren, Wynn Hun of Warren Central and A.J. Woodard of Russellville will be in this race here. Then we will get into some hurdle action. Rain is, at the moment, is just a light, steady rain. It picks up from time to time. You can barely see it in the camera there across the way. You see the runners are in the starting block. They're not quite ready yet. Waiting on the timers to be ready for us to go. Now we've been given the okay. Once they get everything official, then they clear the timing device, and we're ready. Heat number 2, boys, 400 meters. They're off. They make the first turn. Used to on the tracks, they would have the start finish about halfway. Now they've got kind of almost to the first turn on a lot of these tracks where they start with. You've got Russellville, I believe, here, Russellville runner. That is A.J. Woodard. He has a slight lead going to turn 3 on this boys' 400-meter dash. And it looks like he has slowed down in the 3 in the middle. Chase Duggins, Albert Banfu, and Turner Siddons, I believe, are the 3 that have overtaken. As you see them come into your camera across the way. And that's a 2-man race as they come down the final meters. And it's going to be, I believe that's Turner Siddons of Bowling Green, followed by Chase Duggins of South Warren, go 1-2 in this heat. We'll have to see how their times compare to the first heat. Up next will be the girls' 300-meter hurdles, and they'll get the hurdle set. We're going to step out while they get the field set, and we will take this short break. You're watching the Sky Track and Field Meet at South Warren High School on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Leachman Buick GMC is the #1 GMC dealership in Kentucky and multiple winner of the GM Mark of Excellence Award, and just recently achieved the #1 ranking as the most trusted GM service department in the Southeast United States. If something isn't right with your vehicle, no matter the make or model, just give Leachman a call. We offer a 15-minute diagnosis at no charge. Schedule your next visit at LeachmanAuto.com and discover why generations of customers choose Leachman Buick GMC.
The thing I know about Franklin Bank and Trust is that they are large enough to serve your banking needs, but small enough to know you.
We want to know our bank gives back to the community.
When I call my bank, I want to talk to a real person.
Yes, we need a local banker that we can depend on.
Franklin Bank and Trust wants to keep banking personal. That's why all of our banking decisions are made at the local level. That's what you do in a hometown bank. You put people first.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called SmartPack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. SmartPack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about SmartPack.
Girls 300 meters will be hurdles will be up next here at the Sky Conference track meet. A rainy, soggy Saturday here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. South Warren High School. Scott Thompson, Mike Clef. Thanks for joining us. These athletes braving the elements. As it takes a few minutes to get all the hurdles set up. And then they'll have the boys, which will have to raise the hurdles. They'll be starting down to our left. We got limited camera views. We apologize for that. Being indoors to protect our camera equipment. Otherwise, we'd be able to show you the entire races, the start to finish, and maybe a couple of the field events, but we're just not able to. We want to be able to be with you for the future, so we've got to protect our equipment. As they get set up for the 300-meter girls, let's take a look at your entrance. One of two heats. Amber Rice of Barron County in lane 1, Caroline Chambers, Butler County, lane 2, Jillian Harrell. Warren East, lane 3, Erica Smith, Bowling Green, lane 4, Rachel Evans in Greenwood, lane 5, Tanaya Woods, Warren East, lane 6, Jessica Peterson, Greenwood, lane 7, and Briley Webster, Butler County, in lane 8. So it'll take them a few minutes to get this set up. Coming up May the 15th will be our other track meet that we'll do, as it will be at Warren East, the Raider Classic. Otherwise, we got a lot of baseball and softball action for you coming up. Very fortunate here at South Warren. They got 2 press boxes, one across the way, and then the one on the side we're on for media for football and track and events. As you can see, people over there underneath all of the tents, and as we show you the stands are underneath tents and umbrellas over there huddled up. The more they can get, the better off they are. Protect everybody from the elements today. These parents and family members braving the elements to support the student athletes here at the Sky Track Meet. Almost got all the hurdles set up. You get a good look at our view here at South Warren. See a couple of the coaches there. One of those there in the blue, Ken Skay from Warren East. Here we go. As we get started in the first heat of the girls' 300-meter hurdles. As they come in front of us, we've only got 3 in this heat. We have 2 heats going today. As we get some results coming in for you, we'll get that. Let you know, update. Making sure we don't duplicate. Girls 4x200 meter relay. South Warren wins that. Time at 1:59.10. Warren Central second. Warren East third. Greenwood in fourth place. Girls 400 meter dash. Megan Kitchens of South Warren and a time of 1:03.20 wins by a little over 4.5 seconds over Amaya Salvador of Greenwood. Caroline Freeman of Greenwood was in third place. I'm sorry. Megan Kitchens first. Yeah, Maya Salvador, then Caroline Freeman. Yes, as they had two heats there. Then we're getting in the boys 400 meter dash. Results: Thomas Tenius of Bowling Green wins with a time of 54.9 seconds. South Warren's Brandon Irvin second. Drew Fisher of Barron County third place. As we have another heat in the girls, it looks like some of the participants that we thought would be here have pulled out for various reasons, it looks like. Get you update on some more results here. Girls 4x100 meter relay. Warren Central wins it with a time of 54.3. About a second behind was Warren East in second, South Warren third, Bowling Green in fourth. After 9 scoring events for the girls, South Warren leads with 79 points, Warren East 76 points, Greenwood 65.5 points, Warren Central in fourth, 52.5 points. So that gets you updated on all of our results that we have in, at the moment. As we have another heat coming. And the girls 300 meters, once we get the okay, they're in the blocks. We only have 2 in this one. As we get some more results for you. Boys 4x100 meter relay. Bowling Green will win with a time of 46.6. Warren Central in second and South Warren in third. The men's standings after 9 events scored. Bowling Green in first with 72 points. South Warren with 69 points in second. Greenwood's in third at 68.5 points. So a half a point difference between second and third place here at the Sky Conference. I just got an update, Mike. It says we got rain coming here in a few minutes. I thought it's been raining all morning. Yeah, but it says rain will start. I'm going, it hadn't quit. Funny how you get notices on these weather apps. It's coming up next will be the boys 300 meter. As they finish up the girls 300 meter run. Last runner there. Looked like she may be pulling up a little gimpy. Walked right over it, but hey, you can do it. You can go over it. Don't matter how you go over it. Just don't go around it. You go around it, then you have a little disqualification there. As they get the boys' hurdles set up, we'll step out. You're watching the Sky Conference track meet on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called Smart Pack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. Smart Pack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about Smart Pack.
As you can see, one of the coaches for South Warren And you got another Warren Central coach getting together, getting these hurdles set up so we can.
Is that Gary Barnett, Scott?
Trying to see. I believe that is him.
If that is, he's one of the good ones.
All right, we have the boys 300-meter hurdles. Almost ready. They're not quite. Got a couple of hurdles still to get set up here. Here in this first of two heats, Griffin Reynolds of Barron County expected to be in this. Harrison Bryce of South Warren, Drew Smothers of Greenwood, Landon Binion of Butler County, Sammy Manicarazia of Warren Central, Rance Littlepage, Bowling Green, Matt Kirby of Greenwood in this first of two timed heats for the boys' 300-meter hurdles. The rain has let up, but it feels you were just out, Mike. You said it's gotten a little cooler out there.
It has felt. It feels 10 degrees colder. It just feels that way than when this meet started at 10 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the wind picking. It's not a heavy wind, but it's noticeable now.
Being a cloudy, rainy day doesn't help it.
No, and I mentioned before that you can deal with the rain, but now these conditions for these competitors, it's tough. I'm stating the obvious, but it is true, and it's the between the events. The worst part is I was thinking of the in the relays, the ones that have to walk across the opposite side of the track. Mm-hmm. They don't have their warm-ups on, and it's real easy to go from being warmed up to suddenly stiff and not as comfortable.
Well, the thing is, you see these tents that each team has. What kind of heat do they have in there to stay warm? I mean, they've got them to keep their clothes dry, but do they have any portable heat in there? That's the question. Yeah. How are they staying warm?
That's a great question, and I'll be honest, the ones I walked by a moment ago, I didn't see them in there. And a lot of these competitors are going underneath those tents, and then
were they in the bathrooms with the hand warmers?
They were. They were, yes, they were. Those hand warmers are getting put to good use. Yeah.
So if there's a high electric bill, we know why. They're trying to keep the hands and whatever body parts warm for this track meet. We're ready to go, boys. 300-meter hurdles. They're ready. Set, and they're off. We got a clean start as they'll come into view here. It's hard to tell because of the spacing that they have. Only have 3 in this first heat. And then we're scheduled to have 3 in the second heat. No problem with the hurdle so far. A couple more sets to go, and they'll be across the finish line. And I believe that may be South Warren runner there, crossing first. We'll see how many we got in this second heat. Only got one, lane 3 here on the hurdles. We only got one, so that will be, let me pull it up here for us. Morgan Ray of South Warren will be the only runner here in the second heat. So a lot of these runners may be pulling out various reasons. If you can't get good and loose, you're stretching, and you've really got to stretch and get loose on a day like today where it's not warm, where you can stretch and easily get those muscles, going. But
you're right. You're absolutely right, Scott. It looks like there's just one. I heard the starter gun go off here, and I think I only see one competitor.
Yeah, it is from South Warren, yes.
Okay.
Just thank the folks here at South Warren as providing us with drinks and everything here. We sure thank them for thinking of us, getting the results to us as quick as we can.
Well, I'll tell you how good the people at South Warren are as far as their hospitality. A couple of them apologized to me for the weather, and I'm like, obviously you don't need to apologize for that. They're wonderful. The hardest part is now, Scott, with this, it's just there's just no ideal place to warm up. That's the problem. The elements have made it a real challenge. They really have.
All right, coming up next, 800-meter run once they can get all the hurdles cleared.
You know what I can't get over, too, is, these weather conditions, and it's April 24th. I mean, we're in the latter days of April. This is something else.
You're in Kentucky and it's April. You don't know what you're going to get.
That's the truth, yes.
All right, coming up next is we'll get these pulled up here for you. Will be the 800-meter run as we're down to about 4 more events here on the running part of it. Girls 800-meter run. Let's look at the participants that are scheduled. Got Allison Garcia of Warren East, Brianna Brown, Barron County, Kaylin Mason, Bowling Green, Jalika Bojang of Warren Central, Adelia Drain of Bowling Green, Emma McGuffey, Warren East, Riley Webster, Butler County, Macy Daniels, Greenwood, Catherine Gill, South Warren, Lydia Nathan, South Warren, Mia Cardillo, Warren Central, Emma Winchell, Butler County, Erin Helsley, Greenwood, Anna Kate Alexander, Barron County. We'll have one heat of the 800-meter girls run. And the boys are walking their way up, and they'll stay down in the tent, and then they're brought up, and here we go. 2 laps around the girls' 800-meter run. They're making their first turn, coming around turn number 2, then they'll be into our camera. And you'll be able to pick them up. As you see, it is going to be tight between the 2 Greenwood runners, then South Warren, and then Bowling Green. There's everybody's right there together. There's not a big gap whatsoever. So Greenwood's 2 runners look like Macy Daniels and Erin Helsley with the early pace, followed by South Warren's runners. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Getting us a little chicken biscuit here, Mike. How about that?
Oh,
We appreciate the folks here. Yep.
Very kind. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Julie. Thank you, Julie Bartlett, for taking care of us. We appreciate that very much. As they complete lap number 1, they're side by side, the 2 Greenwood runners, with a lap to go, and they're starting to create some distance. Macy Daniels, Erin Helsley, 1 and 2 for Greenwood. Then you've got a little space in the rest of the runners. Boys 800-meter run will be up next. And here they come. You'll see them right in front of you right about now. The 2 Greenwood girls almost side by side. They're within a half a stride. Bowling Green, that's Adeline Drain, I believe, or Kaylin Mason, not sure which one. And South Warren, Warren East, as you see them all kind of come in front of us here. And then we'll pick up the leaders as they make their way to turn number 4. You'll get them picked up here in just a moment as they are rounding turn 4, and they're in the final stretch to the finish line. It's Erin Helsley Macy Daniels of Greenwood, 1 and 2. They're right there together, scoring big points for Greenwood.
Good race.
Yeah. Teammates pushing each other. We've got a South Warren runner, then I believe it was a Bowling Green, then a South Warren runner maybe. It's hard to tell. Some of these uniforms are very close, hard to tell from our vantage point. We'll get you set up for the boys' 800-meter run. Ross Jesse of Barron County. Cates Duncan of Greenwood. Brody Miller, Barron County. Jacob Camp, Butler County. Sam Sanders of Greenwood. Jacob Miller, Warren East. Connor Graves, Warren East. Braden Armstrong of South Warren. Pramesh Rai of Warren Central. Landon Schmidt, South Warren. Justin Jasper, Bowling Green. Sean Cheney of Russellville. Faisal Yassin of Warren Central. Trey Stovall, Butler County. And Thomas Tenius of Bowling Green are the scheduled runners. Looks like there's only about 8, and we had 15 runners listed, but looks like the numbers have been reduced. After this, we have the 200-meter dash, 3,200-meter run, and then the 4x400-meter relay. Field events are probably done. We see the high jump is completed. Not able to see the shot put in discus or the long jump and triple jump. Boys are at the line. Officials getting them in place. As this may be the only time that we don't have a bit of rain falling. It looks like right at the moment it has stopped until that next cloud moves over. And that's probably how quick it'll be. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, powered by go.prepspin.com and wbko.com/livestream2. Scott Thompson, Mike Cleff with you this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We hope you're warm and dry wherever you are watching. And they're off on the boys' 800-meter run.
And this young man from Greenwood, Scott, he's a good one. He's not wasting any time taking that lead.
Well, you know, Ross Jesse of Barron County had the best time, and Cates Duncan was right there with him. But look at Cates Duncan. He has taken off. It's like, this is my race, guys. Come on, catch me.
Well, and Scott, what's smart about that is if you can get in your opponent's head a distance where they don't think they can come back, that's half the battle right there, and that's what that young man from Greenwood, I think, is trying to do.
Well, with the pace he is setting right now, if he can keep that up, his lead's only going to double because, you know, he has set a fast pace, and this wind and rain has not bothered Cates Duncan one bit of Greenwood.
I'm impressed with him for a lot of reasons. He has a plan, and then he follows it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't, you know, there's no panic in him, and he's got such a smooth stride.
He's not once looked over his shoulder. It's like, you know, this is my race. I'm going to run it. And if you beat me, you beat me. You know, I mean, it's just, he's got a very confident look about him, and he is just, he's in his own stride right now. He is pushing it right now. Cates Duncan, look at him go. And that is Barron County. I believe that's Ross Jesse right behind him. And then that might be Sean Cheney of Russellville in third. Then you've got a group of 3 runners right behind them. But Cates Duncan just pushing it. And this boys' 800-meter run. Okay, he's turning it on, Mike. He's reached down for a little more.
Yeah, and you can tell he's going for a PR, personal record, or a PB, personal best, and wow, he doesn't even look tired.
You know, he's got a chance to be the outstanding male track athlete today. You know, winning events like this, I believe they'll do that, and they'll also have the field events outstanding athletes.
And again, that impresses me. Again, he right at the start, he said, I'm going to get the lead, I'm going to go all out, and he's going to, in his opponent's heads, he's going to be like, you're going to have to catch me, but if I get too far ahead too early, their opponents are like, well, now I'm running for second.
Yeah.
and mentally that is, But the thing is, a lot of people do that, and then they get worn out, and he doesn't. That Gator is one tough guy.
He sure is. As now they are finishing up the final runners across the way. Breeze has picked up a little bit. Rain has subsided momentarily. I will just say momentarily that they have done that, as they will get ready now for the 200-meter dash. They'll call the participants over. As our starter, as he will head over diagonally from the start-finish line to the start line for the 200-meter dash. Take a look at the participants. Germani Morris of Russellville, Ariana Simmons of Warren Central, Bailey Moore, Butler County, Jada Tooley of Warren Central, Kate Chedister, South Warren, Myra Jones Greenwood, Hannah Wiles of Greenwood, and Gracie Carwell of Butler County were the ones originally entered, so we'll see if all of them are entered here in this race. As we're winding down, and as we'll have all the official results, get them to you just as soon as we have them, and then we'll be able to hand out the awards. Looks like we got 7 participants in this race. We had 8 originally entered. And they'll all get lined up here in just a moment. We have 2 heats here in the girls' 200-meter dash. I'm glad rain has stopped momentarily. Hopefully can get these last few races in without it being just a downpour like it was earlier today. As they get to their starting positions down to our right, which unfortunately you can't see. Weather dictating limited camera coverage here at the track at South Warren. We apologize for that, but trying to protect our equipment. Camera's inside. We thank everybody for watching and supporting our sponsors of the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. And if you're interested in showcasing your business here, let us know. We can get you the information. We still have the month of May and this last week of April coming up. If you're interested, reach out to us. We'll get you the necessary information about sponsorship. Big plans coming this fall. Everybody's getting loose. And it looks like we need a couple of more starting blocks, I believe. That's what we're waiting on to get in position, Mike. It was 200-meter dash.
Yep. Scott, again, I've got to give a major salute to all the student athletes taking part in this meet. Wow, we've seen a lot of effort so far. We're going to see a lot of effort the rest of this meet. True passion, true dedication from these student athletes, of course the coaches, on a tough day, and they have handled it like champions.
Yeah. You know, and I mean, I think everything is run as about as smooth as possible, you know, on considering the conditions we have here, as the official is.
What have we had, 2 false starts so far? Very few.
Yeah, I think we've had 2 false starts total. All right.
And we've had 1 bad Baton Exchange.
Yes.
That's it.
All right, here we go. We're ready. Their runners are ready. Not everybody is using blocks here.
That's interesting.
In the girls' 200-meter dash.
That's something you talked about before. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're running 2 heats apparently. Okay, that's why. I see. Okay. Everybody's using them. It just we were limited on the heat here. Okay, I didn't see that we had 2 heats there, but yeah. Only 3 in this first heat. Heat number 2, it looks like it's Lindsay Billingsley of Barron County, Anna Neal Bowling Green, Natalia Alexander Warren East, Hayden Wolf Warren East, Adriana Cottrell of Bowling Green, and Lodi Geesh of South Warren As we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 entrants here in this second one. So out of the 6 we were expecting, we have 4. And they're getting the block set and getting the distance set that they need in out of the blocks. After this, we have the 3,200 meter runs coming up. That'll be 8 trips around the track. The longest event of the track meet. Then we finish up with that exciting 4x400 meter relay. And you get a good look at a couple of the Greenwood runners heading back to one of the starting line areas where there's a tent. Runners set, and we're off. Second heat of this girls 200 meter dash.
Scott, did you say there's 4 in this heat, 4 competitors?
Yeah, we got 4. You'll see them coming around. They're around that second turn to your right, and they'll be into the camera view in just a moment. As you should see them right about now heading into your camera view. And you see them right there. And I believe that is the Bowling Green runner, Adriana Cottrell, followed by Warren East. Maybe South Warren and Warren East again. Not sure.
Scott, if I may, there is a point I do want to make, and I want to get your thoughts on this. We've got a moment between the next heat. And that is, so far on these live streams, you're obviously on the air talking and broadcasting a lot more than I am. But in the times you're giving play-by-play or analysis and the times you're generous enough to let me on here, neither one of us are critical of the student athletes or the coaches. And there's a reason for and I hold the high school student athletes and the coaches. It's a different level. I won't criticize them because it's for the love of the sport, and especially if I see effort. I don't care if you finish first, in the middle, or dead last. If I see effort, and I know what these coaches are making, they're doing it for the love of the sport, I give them a lot of credit. And I don't think it's fair to them to be critical like you see announcers on the national stage. With pro athletes, whole different thing. But
when
the high school,
when you're making $10-15 million, yes, you can criticize. But here, these athletes are doing it. Yeah, this potential to get scholarships in college. Some of them do it because they just it's another way to stay in shape for another sport, and people don't realize some of these track athletes may compete in something else, but this helps them stay in shape for that other one, and end up, by the time they graduate, end up being a pretty good track and field participant.
Let me give you an example. The other day when we had the baseball game at Warren Central, between Bowling Green and Warren Central,
yes,
the game ended up 19-0 in 4 innings. And on the surface, you're like, well, wow, Warren Central got clobbered. But the thing we looked at were positives. And, again, we saw it. Warren Central played hard. I mean, they played hard. They're shorthanded, and I'll let you go here because I think they're about to start this heat, Scott. But I'll finish the point in a moment.
Yeah, as we get ready here, we've got Sean Cheney of Russellville, lane 1, Andrew Hatcher, Greenwood in lane 2, scheduled in this heat here. Josh Morris, lane 3, Butler County, Tyler Wilson, lane 4, Barron County, Javi Bunton, lane 5, Bowling Green, Ira Mateos, Greenwood, lane 6, Kavon Faison of Warren East, lane 7, and Jules Malangika of Warren Central in lane 8, but I know we don't have all those lanes, but that's what we were scheduled to have. We know the second heat there will be 5, and it looks like there is maybe 4. There's 5. Okay, there's 5 in this heat out of the 8 that were originally entered. They're getting into the blocks. And yes, they do have spikes on these shoes. There are a lot different spikes than a golf shoe.
Scott, did you say there are 2 heats in
yes.
this? Okay.
Mm-hmm. There are 2 heats. This is the first of the boys' 200 meter. And then we have the 2 long runs coming up.
And with your permission, Scott, I'll finish this point.
Go
when
ahead.
we get,
Yeah,
when,
go right ahead.
When we get to the 3,200 meter run, I'll have time to make the point.
Oh yeah, exactly. His sweatshirt's coming off here as everybody's getting ready into position. As our official tells them to get ready. Give them momentarily, let them get set. He'll raise the hand, and then about a second later, the gun will go off. All right, everybody is ready. From my viewpoint, they're set, and they're gone. First heat, this is the boys' 200-meter dash. Looks like Warren East, Kayvon Faison, across the way, is in the lead. And he is going to win this heat as he pulls away over there. Looks like that was Kayvon Faison of Warren East. All right, scheduled here in this second heat of the boys' 200-meter dash. D'Angelo Patterson of Warren Central, lane 1. Darius Franklin, Bowling Green, lane 2. Drew Hatcher, lane 3, Butler County. Cody Rito, Barron County, lane 4. Brian Sosa, South Warren, lane 5. Simon Gee, Warren East, lane 6. Monty Williams, Russellville, lane 7. And Donovan Laughlin, South Warren, in lane 8 were the entrants. And we know not all of them are competing, as the rain has picked back up and back to a light, steady rain. It was brief.
You knew it was coming back.
The radar was not lying.
It wasn't a matter of if, but when.
It's just when it was going to. Yeah, we didn't know we'd get the break. We had 5-10 minutes without the rain.
Yeah. Seemed like about 30 seconds.
All right, the runners are ready, set, and they're off. Boys 200-meter dash, second heat. And on the inside there, he's coming around. Oh, wow. Inside, that might be Darius Franklin of Bowling Green running away from everybody. I believe that is him. And he just runs away with this heat.
Strong performance.
And then the other four right there together. They were all together. All right, 200-meter run. So coming up next is the girls' 3,200-meter run as they will head down to the starting block. Mike, go ahead and finish that point you wanted to get across there. Yeah.
Okay, and this is pertaining to Warren Central. We mentioned the baseball.
Yes.
We carried that game where they lost 19-0. Their softball team in the second game of the doubleheader to Warren East lost 17-0. I believe they lost 10-0 in the first game. Both those teams, as you talked about a lot, are short on numbers for a variety of reasons, some injuries and some other issues. And then in the baseball game, one of their players got hurt, and I was concerned that they might be down to 9 players. But on my way to the car after that baseball game, I saw a couple of their players and their student athletes, and I made a point of, like, you guys can keep competing. Both those teams played hard, and I think they deserve us pointing that out, because do they want to be out there ideally when the score is that? Of course not. You're thinking, let's get this over, but they kept battling and battling. I'll give it to myself personally. And Scott, you're the historian here. I've been here for 5 high school football seasons. Warren Central hasn't won a game since I moved here.
Right.
I have not witnessed Warren Central winning a game. And you know this. You go back to when Hall of Famer Joe Hood.
Well, I can remember they had losing seasons. Dale Lindsay took over the program, former All-American at WKU, played at Bowling Green High, a college coach, dear friend.
Class act.
Dale is just a super guy, always great with me, and got to be a part. He worked WKU broadcast with Bud Tyler in the early 80s, and, which I was fortunate to be a part of as well. And it was just, 2 winning seasons back-to-back. Then there was a losing season. Joe Hood had a couple of losing seasons. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 you saw the rise. Baseball, he had a designated hitter in that lineup that never played baseball before.
Wow.
You know, I mean, his numbers were down. He had one that was in COVID. Well, not in COVID. Does not have COVID, but had to be quarantined because they were in the play that weekend.
Guys and dolls.
Right, this weekend. So, therefore, you've got, various reasons going on. Plus, Warren Central limited, in their practice time. So, Steve Albert's going to do a fine job over there at Warren Central.
Oh, he's a solid coach.
He will have the numbers back up there, and I mean nothing against the previous coaches, but
he's solid.
I think he's the right guy for the right job, just like I think Mark Nelson's the right guy at the right time for the football program there.
Well, Scott, and again, I know the race. I'll have some time, but it's about Warren Central baseball, and you heard me say this the other day. But this can relate to a lot of the Warren County Public Schools athletics teams.
We're underway. Okay. Here in this race.
And, Scott, I'm sure there's only one heat in this race.
And it looks like to me they may have the boys and girls running at the same time here in the 3,200.
If that's the case, this is a first for me.
Yes, they are running this together is what it looks like. They're running.
This has to be a weather-related decision,
I would say so. 3,200-meter run.
I've never seen this before.
You know, I think I have once or twice before because of numbers. So what they're running is the boys and girls 3,200-meter run together. We're not sure who's who because a lot of the athletes here are not listed.
Now, I'll tell you what's going to be a challenge here is for the meet officials is the timing of it. You know, the timers and everything else, but I'm sure they're doing this for safety reasons.
Well, they have the automatic timing up there,
right.
So they'll be able to keep up
decision.
that. All right, so what we're going to do while we're in the they got to run 8 laps around the track. We're going to step out and let our sponsors tell you about themselves, as we sure appreciate them as you're watching live coverage of the Sky Track Meet. They're finishing up number 1 lap of the 3,200-meter boys and girls run on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Leachman Buick GMC is the #1 GMC dealership in Kentucky, and multiple winner of the GM Mark of Excellence Award, and just recently achieved the #1 ranking as the most trusted GM service department in the Southeast United States. If something isn't right with your vehicle, no matter the make or model, just give Leachman a call. We offer a 15-minute diagnosis at no charge. Schedule your next visit at LeachmanAuto.com and discover why generations of customers choose Leachman Buick GMC.
The thing I know about Franklin Bank and Trust is that they are large enough to serve your banking needs, but small enough to know you.
We want to know our bank gives back to the community.
When I call my bank, I want to talk to a real person.
Yes, we need a local banker that we can depend on.
Franklin Bank and Trust wants to keep banking personal. That's why all of our banking decisions are made at the local level. That's what you do in a hometown bank. You put people first.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called SmartPack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. SmartPack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about SmartPack.
Going to leave it. All right, here's who we expected to be in this girls' 3,200-meter run, and then we'll get you the boys as they're finishing up lap number 2 as they're getting into the final turn for lap 2. Beatrice Malinga from Warren Central was scheduled to be in this, along with Emma Winchell, Butler County, Isabella Von Steinfort of Bowling Green, Katie Wooldridge, Greenwood, Ansley Crosby, South Warren, Gracie Reed, Barron County, Taylor Brown, South Warren, Chesney McPherson, Barron County, Finley Johnson, Greenwood, Molly Beckham, Warren East, and Naomi Gomez of Warren Central. the boys' 3,200 meter run, as they've combined this because we have got some heavy rain falling, and I got a feeling in order to get everything in, they're running these together. Jacob Dennison of Barron County, Roddick Harris, South Warren, Parker Smith, Butler County, Michael House, Bowling Green, Hunter Clemens, South Warren, Andrew Thomas of Greenwood, Clay Wallace, Bowling Green, Gavin Law, Greenwood, Pramesh Rai of Warren Central, and Walker Smith of Butler County were the scheduled entrants in these two boys and girls 3,200 meter run. We have the two events left, the boys and girls 400 meter run, as they are trying to get this in on this rainy old nasty day. As I'm sorry, Mike.
Oh, that's right, Scott. I'll try to get a camera angle here where you can see the rain picking up again. Tell me if you see.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah, you see it as you get focused in on the baseball side over there, that scoreboard. You can see the rain pounding down on these folks that came prepared.
Well, I commend the South Warren staff for doing. I mean, it's the right thing to do. You don't. Well, this South Warren runner, he's just cruising along, nice form.
Yeah, kind of like the Duncan of Greenwood in some of his races. He's just put himself way out there. As you see the runners, as this is lap number 4 that the leader will be finishing up as he comes around turn 4 down towards the finish line. He'll be about halfway through.
Scott, now you bring up this point too with this rain. I wonder if they only have, say, 4 boys entries in the 4x4 and 4 in the girls, I wonder if they might just run that together too. We'll see in a moment, or a few minutes.
Well, it's possible.
Yeah.
That they could do it because that rain is driving towards us now. It's pretty heavy.
Scott, I haven't even noticed because they're not numbered. Are there 9 lanes on this track or 8?
There's 8 lanes.
8, okay.
There is 8 lanes.
So you could run.
Yeah, and that would be a possibility. What they could do. And I think that's a good idea. Make the adjustment on the fly here because there's some heavy stuff north of us up in the Grayson and Butler County areas, but it's moving away from us. All we've got is just a good, steady heavy rain for whatever time we got left here. We're, about 52, 53 degrees. We've been pretty steady on our temperature here today. As they are finishing up, some of them are finishing up their 4th lap. As we look for our leader. There he is across the way, if I'm not mistaken, Mike. Should be coming into our view.
Yep, I see him.
Yep, he just passed you, so that he is finishing lap number 5. There he goes from South Warren. That is going to probably be. Let me find my 3,200 meter runs here.
Boy, this rain's really coming down hard, Scott.
That may be Roderick Harris
okay.
Of South Warren. He had the second up there with one of the fastest times coming in. So he's got 5 laps in, 3 to go, or I should say 2.5 as he comes right in front of our camera here on this side. There he just missed him. He's that quick.
I'm sorry.
He's that quick, Mike. He's just out in a pace. He's in a comfortable pace right now, and his nearest competitor is almost half a track behind him.
Scott, just out of curiosity, what was his entered time for the race? What was it?
If it is Roderick, like I think it is, 11:52:02.
Okay.
But that's not some of the unless that is Hunter Clemens,
Okay.
Now, Clemens had the fastest time of 10:22.86, so it's one of the two South Warren runners.
There he is right there, Scott.
Yeah.
Still smooth.
So he's got 1 lap to go.
Yep.
You got the gun on him. So that may actually be Hunter Clemens. You know, not familiar with these and not having the numbers that we can pick them up. That's probably him.
Boy,
he's almost halfway home, that South Warren runner.
Smooth form.
He's not let this rain bother him.
Mm-mm.
And, you know, hitting their face and everything, you know, and you don't have a towel or anything to wipe it dry,
it's grueling.
You just take it and go. And hats off to these athletes today. Let me tell you, like you mentioned it earlier, grit and determination today fighting these heavy rain, breezy elements.
Here he is. I see him entering.
Yep. And he's been at that same pace the last 7 laps.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be one of the South Warren runners. And he just finished.
Can you do me a favor here, Scott? Can you tell who the leading girls competitor is?
Yeah,
right
I don't know if that's the 2 leaders right there.
Okay.
I was more keeping up with the guy, but you know, it's unusual that they run these together. So I would think those 2 that you just saw, right there. I think that's is that a Bowling Green and a South Warren runner, maybe? We'll pick them up when they come in front of us as I get more results in here. I want to pass along. Okay, got 2 more events. This is in the girls' 300-meter hurdles. Rachel Evans of Greenwood, a time of 56.9. Jessica Peterson, second, Greenwood, 59.4. And Tayana Woods of Warren East, 102. So after 14 events for the girls, Greenwood with 121, Warren East at 114.5, and in third place, South Warren at 102.
I think this is your winner for the girls right here, Scott. I think she's from Barron County.
Okay. Just crossing there. All right, well, boys 300-meter results. Drew Smothers of Greenwood, time of 48.5. Morgan Ray of South Warren in second, a time of 50.3. Harrison Bryce of South Warren in third, 50.3 through 14 events for the guys. Greenwood with 122 points, South Warren 110.5 points there. I've got more results coming. Let's get these for you. And this is the girls' 800-meter run. Erin Helsley of Greenwood, 236.20. Macy Daniels, Greenwood in second, 236.80. And Adeline Drain of Bowling Green in third, 246.40. So through 14 events in the girls, Greenwood 121 points, Warren East 114.5, and in third place, South Warren 102. All right, next result that we have is the boys' 800-meter run. Kate's Duncan, Greenwood, time of 2:05.60. Sam Sanders of Greenwood, second, 2:13.10. Sean Cheney of Russellville, 217.5. Men's rankings, 14 events. Greenwood 122, South Warren 110.5. Bowling Green third at 99. Girls 200-meter dash. In first, Germani Morris of Russellville, time of 29.3. Bowling Green's Erica Smith in second, 29.5. Myra Jones of Greenwood third, 30.30. So 14 events for the girls. Greenwood 121 in first. Warren East 114.5 in second. South Warren third with 102 points. As more results are popping up here as they're finishing up the 3,200-meter run. Boys 200-meter dash. D'Angelo Patterson of Warren Central wins it with a time of 24.9, a full second ahead of Warren East Kevin Faison, who was at 25.9. Sumi Manakarakiza of Warren Central was in third place. So that's the results that we have up to date for you as we have final events coming up, and they're all hurrying up to the start line. And it will be the girls 4x400 meter relay. As they are hurrying up to get into place. Warren Central, South Warren, Greenwood, Warren East, and Bowling Green are the scheduled teams competing. 4x400, each will run one lap around. And this will be the last two events. Then we'll wait on all the final results to give you all the team standings.
Scott, I'll tell you what, just from my vantage point, the two best student athletes that have caught my attention on the girls' side, there's a distance runner from Barron County, and then on the boys' side, the young man from Greenwood who won the 800 and 1600 meter run. Now, there have been some other. You mentioned D'Angelo Patterson in the 200 at Warren Central a moment ago. When you said a full second, you could tell he really, boy, he was flying. But those two have really caught my eye.
Of course, Cates Duncan at Greenwood.
Yes.
He's won two events.
And was not even challenged.
No, in either race. We'll see if all the girls' teams are in the 4x400.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I was trying to keep an eye on that, Scott.
I don't see any of the girls at the moment, unless they're under the start tent there. But they're getting set. Well, they're getting them set. May only be a couple of teams. I'm not sure.
Do I see a couple of starting blocks out there, Scott?
Yes, there are a couple of starting blocks out there. Yes, and they are positioning another one up there in the turn. So we will have, scheduled to have 5 teams compete. But so far, I don't see any of the girls.
I see one now, Scott.
Okay.
They were under the South Warren, the blue and white South Warren tent.
They're at the finish line. Yes, sir. Okay. As we can hear it hitting the press box here, it's a steady driving rain now. We're in our final events.
And here's, I can tell with that starter, and I've been bragging on him, and he deserves it. He's telling those student athletes, you stay under that tent until the last moment. As soon as the young women student athletes will go out there, you'll see the young men, and I'll get a camera on them. You see them right there.
Yes.
They'll get under there because they'll have another 4 or 5 minutes to wait while the race is going on. That's just, you see the starter over there. That's why he's really good.
Yes.
You know.
He ran it a week ago at Greenwood.
And we were talking to some of the Greenwood hosts. I was telling them, please tell that starter he was outstanding. And they said he just loves the sport of track and field. Just said whenever they ask him to do it, he does it. He's very good. But again, you can tell Scott, he makes it about the student athletes. He's very good. Scott, you know what? I think I see the boys. I thought I saw one girls competitor, but these are the boys getting in the starting blocks.
Well, it may be. They may not. The girls may have decided not to compete and get out of this mess.
Well, you know something, I could understand why.
Yes.
I know it's a conference meet. You don't want to risk any injury.
All right, so the boys 4x400 meter relay scheduled are Warren Central, South Warren, Butler County, Greenwood, Bowling Green, and Barron County. So we'll find out. Did you see the young man over there?
Wow.
Yeah, he's in that tank top.
Ooh, man, do I feel for him.
Oh. Well, here we are protected from the weather in this press box, and they're right out there in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, it's chilly.
Yeah.
He says, fire that gun, let's go.
Scott, again, I'm looking through a small viewfinder. I think you can tell how hard the rain's coming down there, though.
Oh, I see it. There's no doubt because you can see it hitting the concrete back there in between the football and baseball stadium.
Scott, could you again, what were the teams entered in this relay, what you had?
Well, of course, everything has changed as we go, but Warren Central, South Warren, Butler County, Greenwood, Bowling Green, and Barron County were scheduled to run in this event, but as things have changed as the meet has gone along. And so there may only be, I see 1, two. There may only be, is it either 2 or 3 teams going to compete here, looks like. Waiting on everything at the start line. 1, 2, I see 3 teams for sure.
And Scott, you see those 3 under the umbrella? I think they're part of this relay team.
Yes, they are. The other 3 for South Warren, the host school.
Oh, this is great.
Here we go. I think, I don't know, maybe a couple of teams underneath an umbrella there. Here we go.
I love
All right, official is ready. Set. They're off. We've got three teams entered here. We'll catch them as they come around the corner here. And coming in front of us, you will see it's South Warren, Bowling Green are the 2 teams out front.
Well, that is a girls' relay team, isn't it, Scott?
Okay, yeah, that looks like a girls' relay team. So, all right, so it could be 1 girls' relay and 2 boys' teams competing here in our final event.
Scott, I can't tell the girls' relay team, but they're going to get a lot of points for winning by being the only team entered.
Mm-hmm. And that could make a difference.
It could.
All right, the 2 guys are right there within about a stride and a half of each other. South Warren will make the first exchange. This is lap number 2 of the 4x400 meter relay. We don't have the field event, so we don't know how close that's going to make it. So Bowling Green with a slight lead over South Warren here. Lap number 2 of the boys 4x400 meter relay.
Well,
and we got a girls team over there running as they make their exchange.
And they're going to win.
Yeah, they're going to win. So, I mean, they're not pushed, so they're just going to take their time and do it. Across the way, I believe that South Warren has taken the lead. Handoff for the 3rd leg. Yep, that's South Warren with the lead. There goes that handoff for South Warren. This year they went with Brandon Irvin. Braden Armstrong just handed off to Bryce McAllister, and then Chase Duggins will be the anchor. Bowling Green, Zane Grinstead, Drake D., who just handed off to Turner Siddons, and then Thomas Tenius will be in the anchor position. You can see South Warren has opened up a lead, and he's maintained it. Our final event, we'll wait for final standings to be sent to us from other events.
Well, on the girls' side here, Scott, the point being emphasized by the coach is whatever you do not drop the baton. And I'm serious when I say that.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, South Warren has extended their lead over Bowling Green here in the boys 4x400, and here comes the handoff to the anchor.
Ooh.
Chase Duggins for South Warren, and now Thomas Tenius for Bowling Green. Bowling Green's got some room to make up. As they make the 2nd turn, your leader, South Warren. Boys 4x400 meter relay. And you see him pass in front of us. That's Chase Duggins of South Warren. Thomas Tenius trying to make up some room. He's maybe made up a few steps, but it's going to be South Warren and Bowling Green, but they still got a little bit to go. Anything can happen.
I'll tell you what, Scott, he's making up ground.
He's going fast him. He's coming around that final turn over there. You can't see it yet, but it's going to be neck and neck. Thomas Tenius is going to pass for Bowling Green. Boy, has he made up some room on this last lap. And Bowling Green will beat South Warren in the boys 4x400 meter relay.
That was some serious closing.
And he was behind by probably 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And he made that up on that final turn. And we got the girls team out there finishing, and as that's our last competition here at the Sky Track Meet at South Warren High School. Once the girls team finishes, then it'll be just tabulating all the field events and those results here on this rainy day, and we'll be out here very shortly. I think the girls have one more lap to go, if I'm not mistaken.
You might be right.
I think they're going to hand off to the anchor right here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, they've all kept their warm-ups on, makes sense, and they're just like, make sure you hand off the baton smoothly and you don't drop it.
I'm not sure if that's South Warren running in this one.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't tell, Scott.
Not by their their warm-ups. I have not been able to tell if they're the only ones running. It would make sense, being their home meet, that they would run it. As she comes in front of us, I don't know if you can zoom in on, as she comes in there, we'll see if we can see on her sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's South Warren.
That's South Warren, okay.
Yep.
That's South Warren, girls running, and I mean, just a nice leisure, get their run in today, finish, you know. Let's see, makes her way to the third turn. See if we can figure out, for South Warren, it was Madeline Irvin ran the first leg, Megan Kitchen second, Lily Degahart third, and this is Abby Overbay finishing up for South Warren. As she finishes up, then we will take a short break, and then we'll wait on some final results that we will be able to tell you the winners here at the Sky Track Meet. And man, it's been a nasty old day. Hats off to everybody competing today, and we thank everybody for watching, and we'll have all those hopefully award presentations, or at least they'll send the results to us, and we can be able to make that announcement and get off the air for you here today. But as you can see, South Warren girls going to get the 10 points for finishing first in the girls 4x400 meter relay. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll come back, see if we have some more results for you on this rainy day in Bowling Green. You're watching live coverage of the Sky Track Meet at South Warren on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called SmartPack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. SmartPack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about SmartPack.
Leachman Buick GMC is the #1 GMC dealership in Kentucky and multiple winner of the GM Mark of Excellence Award, and just recently achieved the #1 ranking as the most trusted GM service department in the Southeast United States. If something isn't right with your vehicle, no matter the make or model, just give Leachman a call. We offer a 15-minute diagnosis at no charge. Schedule your next visit at LeachmanAuto.com and discover why generations of customers choose Leachman Buick GMC.
The thing I know about Franklin Bank and Trust is that they are large enough to serve your banking needs, but small enough to know you.
We want to know our bank gives back to the community.
When I call my bank, I want to talk to a real person.
Yes, we need a local banker that we can depend on.
Franklin Bank and Trust wants to keep banking personal. That's why all of our banking decisions are made at the local level. That's what you do in a hometown bank. You put people first.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called Smart Pack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. Smart Pack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about Smart Pack.
Well, you get a good look at the empty stands here at South Warren. They've emptied out pretty quick as we're starting to get several of our results into us real quick here. We're going to try to get you updated on what we have so far. And we're getting them in fast here, Mike. Just a second here. I'm trying to see which ones we have given and which ones we haven't.
I don't want to break your train of thought, but I will be real curious if those 10 points that South Warren got in the girls' 4x400 meter relay were any kind of a factor. The point is the other teams didn't enter, so South Warren gained 10 points over the entire field.
And I can't remember where we were. Here we go, boys.
Okay.
I believe did we do the boys 200 meter dash?
Yeah, it was D'Angelo Patterson.
Right.
Yep.
I'm just trying to, as all these messages are coming to me. All right, here we go. Girls 3,200 meter run. Gracie Reed of Barron County won it in a time of 11 minutes, 29.4 seconds. Chesney McPherson of Barron County was second, 12:11:30. Taylor Brown of South Warren, 12:13:80, was in fourth. Ansley Crosby, South Warren, in fifth place. So at 16 events, Greenwood 128, South Warren 123, Warren East 115.5 were your top three teams.
Is that on the boys' side, Scott?
That was the girls.
Ooh.
All right, then here we go. The boys' 3,200 meter run. That was Hunter Clemens of South Warren, who ran away from everybody. 10:25.8. Second place, Gavin Law of Greenwood, 11:02.70. So that was a good, 37 seconds victory there. Andrew Thomas of Greenwood, third. Michael House of Bowling Green, fourth. And Roddick Harris of South Warren was in fifth place. The boys' standings after 16 events, Greenwood 136, South Warren 132.5, and then Bowling Green 114.
And Scott, go back to those standings, because the boys 4x400, you just had South Warren and Bowling Green, and so I think South Warren, if did that include the 4x400 meter relay?
Okay,
points?
here we go. Here's the girls. Yep. Girls 4x400 meter relay. Greenwood with 128, South Warren with 123. That's 16 events scored, and then Warren East third at 115.5. Now, we've not gotten results, but I'm sure included in that is the field events that we did not get the results on. And then here we go on the boys 4x400 meter. Bowling Green did win that, time of 3:59.4. South Warren in second, 4 minutes, 0.7 seconds. So the men, after 16 events, Greenwood 136 points, South Warren 132.5. And then Bowling Green third at 114, Warren Central fourth at 63, Warren East fifth, 54.5, Barron County sixth, and Russellville seventh. So that's 16 events. You know, that's what we've got, and we appreciate everyone. We're going to get out of here. We don't, if they post it on Twitter or whatever. They may have that. A lot of great swimming word coming out of Russell Springs today. South Warren and Greenwood swimming. The baseball team of Warren East has been moved to 8 o'clock tonight. Warren East is in the boys' semifinals of baseball. That's at 8 o'clock. If they win, they play tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That's still weather permitting, so they must be seeing. And, of course, there's turf up there in Owensboro that they're playing on. But, yeah, softball, I was trying to see softball. I don't have an update on Warren East softball, but Greenwood swimming, 200-meter relay, fourth place at state. So congratulations there. We'll be retweeting a lot of these at our Twitter at WCPS Sports as these results are coming across. Congratulations to all these Warren County schools. And, Mike, it's time to pack up and head out on this rainy day. And, as always, enjoyed it. We'll be back here, weather permitting, on Monday as we look at the infield over there at the baseball field. It's kind of muddy for right now.
Yes. It's been a lot of fun, Scott. And, again, a big salute to all the student athletes that competed in this track and field meet today. They were great.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And we'll have all the final results. We'll paste those as soon as we get everything finalized at WCPS Sports on Twitter. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network on Facebook. For everyone here at South Warren, thanks for joining us. For my buddy Mike Clev, Scott Thompson, so long. We'll see you Monday night at 6. It's baseball action. Warren Central at South Warren, weather permitting, right here on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, powered by go.prepspin.com and wbko.com/livestream2. So long, everybody.
Does this scenario sound all too familiar? You're fighting through a mountain of medication bottles, not remembering which ones to take. Spring Hill Pharmacy is now offering a free and convenient medication packaging system called SmartPack, a new innovative way to package your medication. Your medication will be arranged by the day and time of day to take them. SmartPack is a free service, along with free citywide delivery. Call us 270-796-3909 to find out more about SmartPack.